Here we go again. We are live. Hey guys, how you going? So BKRsport. We are live as the New Zealand Warriors will be taking on the North Queensland Cowboys in Christchurch here today, not in Auckland at Go Media Stadium, for what is going to be a pretty big game here for both these teams, especially with the fact that the Panthers lost yesterday to the Gold Coast Titans. The Warriors, you should be the biggest Titans fans ever right now. You should be absolutely cheering and just shouting the name of Zane Harrison to the rooftop right now, because that does keep you in with a chance of potentially, staying in the race of that minor premiership. And if you win here today, you're only going to be 2 wins behind them, and you still have a little bit of a sneaky chance there. So you should be very happy with that result yesterday. You're obviously in the second, and the Cowboys, they are in 9th position. They don't really have that same advantage they had a couple of rounds ago with the 8 wins compared to the 6 wins of other teams. They had a bye, but they also did lose one of those games, which meant that those teams were able to catch up on that. And now they don't really have that advantage. So they need to win this game here, the Cowboys, because otherwise, even though they'll be equal on wins with, the Rabbitohs are actually still on 7 wins, and they've obviously got a bye, but the fact of the matter is that this Cowboys team is in a position right now where it's not as beneficial as it has been before, and it's going to be very, very difficult for them as they do situate themselves just outside that edge of the 8, and they also do not have a great points differential. So this isn't a game that you can be targeting to get a better points differential by any stretch of the imagination. You just need to be looking to get the 2 points here, and then whoever you play next, well, you actually play the Panthers next. Oh, good luck with that one. Geez, the Cowboys next week, their next game is against the Panthers. They'll have their full strength team back, and they're coming off of a loss. So that's not going to be an easy one. So this is even more of a desperate win here for the North Queensland Cowboys as they look to re-establish themselves in that top 8. But the thing is that even with a win here, they wouldn't be in the top 8 because their points differential is so poor. So just getting that 2 points is so damn well crucial. We'll get into the 2-team lineups in a second. Obviously, the other games we've got today is the Melbourne Storm taking on the Canberra Raiders in a must-win game from those 2 teams as we start to get through to the back end of season now. We're still in the middle part of the year, but once Origin 3 finishes, that's the home stretch right there. So we're only at 3. We've got next week, the week after, and then the week after that is the home stretch where you've just got to really pump home strong. You've got to win as many damn well games as possible and really establish yourselves into the final. So it's not too long away now, but this Origin period is really, really crucial. So the Storm and the Raiders, that is a big game where they'll keep their foot on the throat of that top 8. The Raiders haven't been great this year. The Storm haven't been great, but they've been finding a lot better form recently. That'll be an interesting one right after this. And then, And then we will have the Sydney Roosters taking on the Cronulla Sharks right after that. And whoever loses that game, I'm putting you on scam. But those 2 teams, obviously, massive, massive, massive game between 6th and 7th. And whoever wins that will really, really solidify their top 8 chances. And they'll be actually on more wins than those teams that are just slightly below them. They'll be on the 9 compared to the 8. And then there'll be 2 wins above the Rabbitohs there that are currently sitting above them on the 7 wins. It's just they've had all 3 of their buys. Actually, the South Sydney Rabbitohs are the only team to have received all 3 buys so far. They will not have another bye for the rest of the season. The South Sydney Rabbitohs from here on out, from next week onwards, will play a game every single week. So it's going to get spicy for them. But let's get into this game here today, which should be interesting. Obviously, guys, hit that like button, subscribe if you're new around here, and we'll be live for all 3 of them today. The Warriors, they come into the game from 2nd position. The Cowboys come into this game from 9th position. And this is at One New Zealand Stadium in Christchurch. Now, the ins here for the Wars, Luke Metcalf and Mitchell Barnett, with the outs being Alofiana Khan-Pereira and Jason Salalilo. Obviously, big up there of Alofiana Khan-Pereira. He's been absolutely just amazing this year for the Wars, and he is amazing in general. He was great at the Titans, just defensively wasn't exactly perfect, but the Warriors, he's got a really good defensive team around him that's able to really seriously help him out. But Alofiana Khan-Pereira is gone, and they've got the depth here, and especially next year, they've got plenty of wingers coming in. Will Warbrick, I think they even signed another winger, I can't remember, but they've got Will Warbrick coming across, and they've got Dallin, and they're chucking Chance in there today, so it's not like they're going to be missing out on a significant amount because they do have the depth here. But with that being said, Loffy has been incredible. The fullback is Tane Tuapiki, with the wingers being Dallin Watani-Zalesniak and Chance Nihil-Klokstad. Centers of Ali Tower and Adam Pompey. The 5'8" is Chanel Harris-Tavita, with the halfback being Tamani Martin. And then you go to the forwards of Jackson Ford and Mitchell Barnett, who is the captain. And the number 9 is Wade Egan. Now the back row is Jacob Laban and Marata Niokore, with the 13 being Aaron Clark. And then the interchange is Tanner Stowers-Smith, Eddie Jeremiah Tuava. Hold on, sorry. Adi Tuava, Dimitri Mulga, Kalis Fatilofa, Luke Metcalf, and Makaya Taufua, with the coach being Andrew Webster. Well, Warriors, you've had an absolutely fantastic season so far, where you are situated up there in secondo position. However, the Dolphins are now equal with you, and the Knights are now equal with you, and they both do have the 9 wins, so it's not like they've got a bye over the top, which is how they've put themselves there. They quite literally just do simply have the same amount of wins as you. Now, they've already played this week, so they're not going to be going above you, but this is very important. You're coming off of a loss last week, 10-8 to the Sharks, where you had a chance to tie it up. You were really, really underwhelming. It was a really underwhelming performance there from the Waz, and the Sharks, they had guys out like Nico Hines. He wasn't there, and they had a whole bunch of players. Adam Fennell-Blake was out with Origin, and Britt Nakora was out with Origin, and it was a really, really disappointing performance there from the Warriors, who you just would have expected a lot more from that game, but obviously that wasn't to be, and the Sharkies did actually go and get that job done there in Auckland. So this is a very, very important one here to bounce back from that one, and you're getting Mitchell Barnett back in for the first time in quite a few weeks, actually. It's been a long time. I think it's Magic Round it might have been the week before, 2 weeks before the first game of Origin was the last time he played. So yeah, he's back into the team, and that'll be a helping hand. And he will be the captain here today, I think it was. Is he the captain? No, who's the captain? Because James Fisher-Harris is obviously not here. Yeah, Mitchell Barnett is the captain. And the 2 front row forwards are Jackson Ford and Mitchell Barnett. So, yeah, Fisher-Harris is out. That is frustrating. And obviously you guys do have that new halves pairing again. It's not a new halves pairing. It's just having to go back to what you had previously prior to the Tanner Boyd and Luke Metcalf with Shannon Harris-Tavita and Tamati Martin, because Luke Metcalf is obviously on his way out to the Dragons next year. There's not really much point putting him back into the starting lineup. He is on the bench, and I think that he'd be spewing quite a little bit that he made a decision to make that move, unfortunately, just before Tanner Boyd went and did that season-long injury, because Tanner Boyd would typically be there, but then you would have thought that Luke Metcalf would just go straight back in, but obviously that's not to be, because he is off to the Dragons, so it makes no sense. I think this Warriors team is good. I think their work ethic is amazing on a typical basis, but the thing with the Warriors, and Warriors fans who have watched this team for many, many years will agree with me, and we have this conversation every week, that when you expect them to win, even when they're playing amazing, this Warriors team always has a knack of just finding a way to lose. So, for example, last week, I remember before the game and in the days leading up to it on the streams and whatnot, we had Warriors fans deluxe coming in saying that the Sharks win was basically a guarantee. We're going to smash them 13 plus. It's going to be too easy. They got no Nico Hines. There's no chance that anything happens here. And then obviously I kept saying, just relax a little bit. Like, this Sharkies team is still pretty good, even though they're without Nico. And I'm probably going to be looking towards taking the Warriors in a tip. At the end of the day, the Warriors are no guarantee here. It's like, oh, no. The Warriors are amazing. The Sharkies, they're going to get done over here. And I kept saying, well, the Sharks have already beaten you so far this season. And that was at a time when you weren't expecting to lose it then. And a lot of the Warriors fans just didn't like to believe it. Well, obviously, they went and lost that game. And the same thing happened with the Tigers game earlier on this year, and the same thing happened with the Sharkies game earlier on this year. The point of the matter is that this Warriors team is a really good team and really should be winning this game here today. They are a much better team than what they were last year, because last year it was emphasized on defense and their attack was not good. It wasn't good at any point of last year, but the defense was amazing when they were in the top 4, and then unfortunately they fell away. This year, they've had that attack and they've had that defense. But the issue is that you've seen that attack kind of fall away a little bit once we've seen Tanner Boyd go down. Now, obviously, they still won that game 42-12 over the Brisbane Broncos, which was, Tanner Boyd went down early and they still went and punched him, but the Broncos have been absolutely awful this year, obviously. The Dragons game against, the Warriors against the Dragons was, okay, 30 points, that's still pretty damn well good, don't complain. And the Panthers game that was without the Panthers stars, but they did lose that one 20-18, and it was kind of the second half, and the Panthers do love to throw it away. Have it again yesterday. The Panthers in the second half are just simply not good. They found a way to score a couple of tries, but overall, I wasn't too overwhelmingly impressed by the Warriors attack. But then again, I think that also comes down to the Panthers defense. But then you get to last week's Sharks game, it looked really one-dimensional. It looked really, really bland. It did not look fantastic, and it reminded me a lot of what the second half of last year was. So I'm not saying that's what this is going to be. I have a lot of confidence in the Warriors this year. I think that they're a good team. I think they work hard, and I think that they really do punch through the line strong. And they need to prove that here today, because if they don't prove that here today, they play a Dolphins team next week, that'll be a game for the top two. That'll be a game to see who is in second position. So the Warriors, they need to get this win to get that momentum back into their system and to pump home strong here before their final bye in round 18. And then they've got the Tigers, the Dragons, the Bulldogs, the Titans, the Panthers, the Broncos, the Rabbitohs, the Knights, and Manly. So yeah, long way to go in this season. There's still a lot of rounds to go here, but just don't get too overconfident right now, because this Warriors team has to get back into a re-establishing who they are, because last week was really, really poor. The attack wasn't great at all. The Cowboys are not a good defense, but they also can have a good attack. Can is the key word. Not necessarily will, but can have a good attack. This Cowboys team can either lose by 50 points or they can beat you 34-32. You know, like they will either lose by 50 points to 10, or they'll win the game 34-32. That's kind of what they are. So Warriors, you've really got a great opportunity here to really focus on that attack today, get some good points on the board, and prove yourself again, because you need to do it after last week's Sharks game. But I have full confidence that you will do that. But this team is going to be tricky. Now, the Cowboys, on the other hand, you've got Braden Burns, Jeremiah Nene, and John Bateman in. Ethan King, Liam Sutton, and Whittam McGregor is out. The fullback is Scott Drinkwater, with the wingers being Braden Burns and Murray Talangi. Centers of Zach Labour and Tom Chester. You go to the 5'8", which is Jackson Purdue. The halfback is Jake Clifford, with the front row forwards being Griffin Neem and Cohen Hess. The number 9 is Reed Marnie. The back row is Hilam Lukey and Jeremiah Nene, with the 13 being Ruben Cotter. Interchange, Thomas McKelly drops to the bench. So does Jason Tamalolo. I'm really interested by these two decisions. Sonny Luke, Matty Lodge, Sam McIntyre, and John Bateman, with the coach being Todd Payton. This Cowboys team, I've always said throughout this whole year, I don't know what they are. I could not tell you what they are, man. When you look at their attack, they've scored 343 points so far through 14 games. So that's more than a few of the teams that are slightly above them, the Sharks, the Roosters, and also the Rabbitohs. But 343 points is behind the Panthers, it's behind the Warriors, it's behind the Dolphins, it's behind the Knights, behind Manly, behind the Rabbitohs, behind the Sharks. The Roosters will score 10 points. So I'm behind the Roosters, because the Roosters are on 333, but they're one game behind. They will score 10 points. So they're behind the Roosters. They are behind the Storm, and that's it. So they're currently in 10th position for their attack so far. They are in 10th position in the competition for attack. And then we go to the defense, and that is what their preference is. That is what the Cowboys are known for, right? Their attack. But they're on 10th. And then in the defense, they've got 356 points against them. So they're behind the Panthers, they're behind the Warriors, they're behind the Dolphins. They are actually slightly ahead of the Knights. They're behind the Manly Seagulls, they're behind the Rabbitohs, the Sharks, the Roosters. You've also got the Bulldogs at 342, also behind the Storm at 348. And you're literally 1 point off better than the Titans. So you are actually 10th for attack and 10th for defense right now at the Cowboys. That's not a good sign, because we actually did have where the Cowboys were just slightly inside the top 8 for the attack and just outside the top 8 for defense. Now both of their stats are outside of that top 8. And they're both exactly pretty much where they are. Well, they're in 9th. The Tigers are in 10th. The Cowboys are in 10th on the attack and 10th on the defense. So when you're seeing they're getting 8 wins on the board, and this is why I say to Cowboys fans, it's not like an insult towards the Cowboys to have these questions here, because that makes sense. They're getting a lot of wins, and it doesn't really make sense why they've got so many wins, but also at the end of the day, who cares how they get their wins as long as they are getting their wins? But 10th for attack and 10th for defense is crazy. And yet, with a win here, they would have the same amount of wins as the Warriors, the Dolphins, and the Knights. And you're just like, how is that possible? How is that possible? Because those teams are like top 4 in both categories. But yet this team here is in 10th and 10th. So it just shows to me that they've got a resilience about them. It shows to me that a lot of teams will come in and maybe expect to win against them, or a lot of teams will come in and seriously underperform with the Cowboys' game plan and seriously underperform to the expectations based on the Cowboys' grittiness and tough work ethic. Because I don't think this is the best team in the comp. I don't think they're close to the best team in the comp, the Cowboys. I think they're actually a pretty average team. But because of that, they're able to come together and get the results when necessary. This team is not going to be winning the comp this year. They're not. But if they can find a way to get to the top 8, that's fantastic. Because at the end of the day, before the season started, everyone thought the Cowboys would come bottom 4. They'd come nearly last, right? So a top 8 appearance would be a major success here for this Cowboys team, considering the expectations. But the 10th and the 10th does make you understand why there is those doubts and those criticisms for what this team is. Because you go back through a lot of their results recently. Okay, they lost 40-14. You know, like that 50-10 loss that I was talking about just before. Lost 40-14. Lost 26-12 to the Raiders. That 40-14 was to the Dolphins. They beat the Rabbitohs 30-18. Beat the Roosters 18-12. Lost to the Eels 33-30. What on earth is that? Beat the Bulldogs 28-12. Beat the Sharks, but they gave up 34 points, 46-34. That's crazy. And then you've got that blowout, 38-6 against the Manly Seagulls, where they lost. The game against the Broncos, 35-31. That was just ridiculous. Giving up 31 points in a win. That means that in 2 of their wins this season, they have given up 65 points. That's crazy stuff. That is crazy. And then we go back to their 32-0 win over the Dragons, but the Dragons have won 1 game all season against the Brisbane Schmalkos. So I do have serious doubts about this Cowboys team, but whilst I'm doubting them, I know that they can still win a game like this, just down to hard work and work ethic and just putting in their best foot forward and working together as a team. They have to work as a team because they're not the biggest star-starter pack in the league. They're not the best stars in the league for sure across this team. And you are losing a guy like Scotty Drinkwater, who defensively is inept, but attacking-wise is fantastic. And obviously, he's going to the Dragons next year. So he's going to change it around. Tom Chess has been an amazing find this year. I called him as my preseason breakout. He's been incredible. Jackson Persian and Jake Clifford, you don't really kind of, that's their halves right now. Tom Dearden being out, that is a big loss for them. And then Jason Tupelo to the bench. Tom Dearden being out probably in a lot of ways has killed a lot of the positive growth we could have seen into this season. We could have seen them still actually grow into a much better team there alongside Tommy Dearden leading the way. But obviously that's not going to be. And Jackson Persian and Clifford are the halves here. So they've just got to do what they can do with what they've got. So I'm going to take the Warriors here today. I'm going to respect the Cows, and I'm going to say it's a 1-12 here to the Warriors, but I could see a world where this is a 13 plus as well. I think the Warriors need to get back to winning ways. They need to get back to attacking ways, and there's no better team to really do it against right now than the Cowboys. In this position anyway, they're pretty happy to surely score some points here against the Cows, who again 10th for the defense, and you are at home. You're in Christchurch in New Zealand. We've got this big news. There's another New Zealand team coming in, so potentially it's in Christchurch. So if that's the case, well, get a win here and try and lock up as many fans as you can before they're going to steal some fans in the local area, right? So Warriors, I'm going to back him in for a 1-12, but I could easily see a 13-pluser here as well. I could also see a world the Cowboys still find a way to win this game, because the Warriors are no guarantee. I think they should win, but they're no guarantee. And the Cowboys, if they just come in with the right mentality and work as a team and just do the simple things right, that's how they win their games. Now we go to the ladder. The Warriors are in second position on 22 points, which is equal with the Dolphins and also the Knights. But they've got a plus 152. The Dolphins are actually really close now. They're plus 129, and the Knights are on plus 34. So there's one there that's a little bit on the opposite side points differential. But the Warriors, if they had to win this game, they would go to 24 points on 10 wins. They'd be 4 points behind the Penrith Panthers, who are on 12 wins and 28 points. They're both the same amount of buys, but the Panthers have a plus 272 points differential. So there is still that gap, and I've got the Panthers just to simply win the minor premiership this year. But there's at least a chance here that the Warriors, if the Panthers do slip up and the Warriors just keep on winning, there is a slight chance of them being able to catch them, but I don't think that's going to necessarily be the case. I think you're just going to focus in for that home final in second spot right now, and the Dolphins are right on your heels. I think the Knights is a little bit of falsity, but the Dolphins are right on your heels for sure. So a win here will put you into second, and then again, you play the Dolphins next week. So that would ultimately be the game for second place. It's a massive game. If you lose this game, however, you're probably still going to stay in second position. However, if you lose by 4-2, 3-2, if you lost by 24 points, you would go below the Dolphins into third position today because they're on plus 129. You cannot go below the Newcastle Knights. Manly lost, so there's no worry about them. And Sharks, plus 64, Roosters plus 35. So they're no worry points differential. One of those two teams will win later on today. So yeah, the lowest you can go is into third, but you would have to lose this game by 24 points to be going into third position there for the Warriors. On the other side, you have got the North Queensland Cowboys in ninth position. Now, for them, they're on 18 points currently, which is equal with the West Tigers. They're on minus 13, the Cowboys. The Tigers are on minus 84. The Tigers already lost this week. So, if they win this game... Oh, and also... No, that's sorry. I was about to say they're tied with the Sharks and the Roosters, so they're not. But if the Cowboys do win, they'll be tied with the Sharks and the Roosters. But one of those two teams will win this week. And then also Manly and Rabbitohs are on 20. So they would go equal with the 5, 6, 7, 8 teams, except for one of the two teams, the Sharks and Roosters, will jump above to go into fifth position at a minimum. Fourth position, actually, for the Sharkies if they win. Actually, no. Either way today. Hold on. Either way today. The Knights will drop down to fifth because both of them have already got points differential above them. But the Cowboys cannot really jump into the top 8 today. They can't, unless the Sharks were to beat the Roosters by 35 points and put the Roosters to a +0, and the Cowboys win by 14 points here today over the Warriors. The Cowboys can't jump. So they're going to stay in ninth position regardless here, even with a win, because their points differential is just not good, especially if they want to be rivaling some of these teams in those mid-50s and 80s and even up towards the hundreds of the Dolphins, the Warriors, and also Manly. And that's where a problem's going to come here for teams like the Roosters and also the Knights the longer this season goes, because it means one slip up and you'll drop significantly. Because right now, the Knights, they have the worst points differential in the top 8, but yet they're in fourth position, right? They're on 34. But if they have one loss, they could easily drop below Manly, drop below the Rabbitohs, drop below the Sharks, and also drop below the Roosters into 8th position, right? One loss. So that's why you've got to really focus in on this points differential right now. So the Cowboys with a win here, they will stay in 9th position. With a loss here, however, they would have to lose by about 72 to go below the Tigers. That's not happening. The Bulldogs have already played. Actually, no, that's it. No matter what here, the Cowboys, win or lose, they will be in 9th position. Win or lose, they will be in 9th position here because nobody can catch them. Everybody below them has played, except for the Storm and the Raiders, but the Storm and the Raiders are far enough away. They are far enough away. The Storm are on 14. However, if the Storm are to win, then they'll only be one win behind the Cowboys, and their points differential is -2 themselves, which is not too far behind there. So, yeah, all to play for here. All to play for the Cowboys. They don't want to put themselves down into that kind of 12 through. To be fair, like it's 4 wins that separate them, or 3 wins actually that separate them from the bottom 4. So it's not actually completely out of the equation right now. But we'll see. We'll see how it all plays out here, and we'll see if the Wars can maintain their form not maintain their form, maintain their season-long form is what I should say. And they get the job done here. So, guys, hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're new around here. There is 20 minutes to go until the game does start, and hopefully we get a good one. Chopper says, is it a full-time job for you, mate? You haven't stopped lately. Yeah, man. Yeah, no, I'm pumping out all the time. I did get a good rest last night. I didn't actually stream the FIFA World Cup overnight. I do every single rugby league game, NRL Live, and I will be back on for the FIFA World Cup tonight. Yeah, so... no, it's amazing, man. I feel blessed to be able to have social media as a full-time job whilst getting to travel the world and watch the sports that I love. And no, it's pretty amazing, dude. Tiger Hood says, "G'day, brother. Hope everyone is safe and well up the Wars." Hunt says, "I've gone to the Cowboys." Why is my question. Why? And Tiger says, "Yeah, many years of falling flat mid-season." Daniel Bates says, "Morning, is it me or are the Cowboys the most drifty team in the NRL? They never seem to do anything in the way of improvement. They just meander around." Yeah, well, this happens quite a bit over, about a 3-year basis, typically with teams. We've seen in recent years the Canberra Raiders have been that real meandering team that will just situate themselves in 8th and 9th. The Knights over the years have also been a team that has been similar to that 8th and 9th kind of drifting team that never go on to actually go and do anything. They never go on to actually win. They just kind of situate themselves around that area. They might even be back to that area by the end of the season with their points differential right now. The Raiders and Knights are prime examples of this. Over the year, actually recently, we've seen a lot of the time the Roosters have been that team as well. So yeah, this happens quite frequently. Trey says, DWZ multi and Wars by 13 plus. The Cowgirls get thrashed in Christchurch. Yeah, we will see. Try scorers today for me. I'm just going to go with an easy one here of Dallin Martinez-Lesniak on the wing. I think that the Wings should have a field day here against this Cowboys defense. I really do. I think the centers might find it a little bit tough against a guy like Tom Chester and Zach Laybart, who can come with some big hits, but Ali Leotawa is a great shout himself for a try. But Dallin Watani-Zalesniak really should have a big field day here. I think he could get 2 tries, to be fair. And then for the forwards for the Warriors, I'm probably going to link up with a bit of Marata Niokore on the basis that back rowers I'm usually pretty good with, so I'm going to go with a Marata Niokore special there in the back row. And then for the Cowboys, I just have to go continuously with my boy Tom Chester. He's been very good this year. Tough player, runs the ball hard, and definitely can break the game away for the Cowboys. And if there's going to be a game breaker in that back line, it's going to be Tom Chester. So I'll take him. And then in regards to the forwards, Jeremiah Nene is back. Helam Lukey is quality. Reid Marnie Scoot. I'm going to try and go with the Jeremiah Nene on return after injury. I'll go Jeremiah Nene on return after injury, yeah. How were people expecting the Panthers to win last night? Titans are first. Well, it's a great question, Jake. Obviously, the Titans undefeated, top of the ladder. You know, it's ridiculous that the Panthers were as heavy favourites as they are. But, you know, this is the thing people need to understand. They need to really cope with and really come to terms with the fact that the Titans are the greatest team of all time. Sometimes people, they just try to refuse the fact they go, Titans aren't first. And I'm just like, well, look, I know you're a hater, but you've got to respect. You just simply got to respect that they're top of the table. So, no, it's getting a little bit silly now, but, you know, this is what people do. Tukotoro Miro Nuku says, your Titans went good, brother. Come on to Wards. Good luck with the Wards. Yeah, Titans went well. Zane Harrison, 3 try assists, and also gets the winning field goal as a 20-year-old debutant this year. You know, rookie this year. I've been calling for his name for years now, and he finally gets his opportunity, and he takes it by the horns, and he slaps it down. So, no, I'm very happy with what Zane Harrison's done. And like I said before the game, and like I say every week, I'm not expecting to win the comp this year. I'm not expecting the Titans to... I'm not expecting them to be ultimately world beaters. And look, to be fair, like again, you've got to remind people that Nathan Cleary was out, Isaiah Yeo was out, Brian Toto was out, Casey McLean was out, and I think there probably would have been a different game if they were in. But the defense has shown to be a much improved commodity this year at the Gold Coast Titans. The attack will grow with a younger spine and a younger team. That Panthers team yesterday that was out there, only adding in Casey McLean, still beat the Warriors a few weeks ago, 20-18, and they're second, and we were second last, right? So it's an amazing effort regardless. If the Warriors had have gone and pumped them about 3 weeks ago, when they had no Isaiah Yeo, Nathan Cleary, and Brian Toto, well, then you would have just said the Panthers just aren't great on the old depth. But the Warriors still went and lost to that same Panthers team a couple of weeks back in at Combank. And then the Titans have been able to find a win against them a couple of weeks later. So I'm pretty happy with that regardless. At the moment, it's just about taking whatever we can get. You know, on the Gold Coast, we don't really get too much, man. We never really see any success. But at the end of the day, Panthers fans and a lot of people will suggest that it was only the depth options for the Panthers and the best players were out. That's great. But they also still didn't play against the Warriors and won 20-18 2-3 weeks ago. Outlaw says, had $10 in a multi last year on Cowboys versus Warriors, ended up hitting 850 odds, had 7 try scorers plus wise head to head in that multi, going to try hit another Hail Mary. Good luck. Flames on Game says, isn't Dearden a huge loss of the Cowboys structurally? Yes, of course. That's why you've seen as well their last 2 games. They've lost their last 2 games in a row, and they've fallen out of where they were in the top 4, and now they're struggling to make the top 8. I, throughout this entire season so far, have maintained that I think I said all the whole time that the Cowboys would probably fall back down to reality and the comp would even itself out a lot more, which is what you're seeing for the most part. Knights, realistically, like I think they'll make the 8, but there's really no chance. No, they really shouldn't make the top 4. Knights team really shouldn't make the top 4. But with that being said, the rest of the comp has evened itself out a lot more for the most part. You know, the Storm are starting to rise again. The Roosters and the Sharkies are still in that top 8. The Rabbitohs are there. Manly aren't up there in 2nd and 3rd position anymore. They're down there in 5th after a loss to the Bulldogs, and now they play the Storm, and that's going to be a belter of a game between 2 rivals who need a win. So yeah, there's a lot going on here that is more so evening this competition out comparatively to what we were seeing at the beginning, and that's why I always say you have to realize that the season is 27 rounds long. Just because you're in 1st or 2nd or 3rd after 4 or 5 weeks, there's still 22 more weeks to go after that 5 rounds. But people always like to live in the moment. Sure, you can live in the moment, but also reality is it's a long season, man. It is a long season. Spencer says Sweden got absolutely smoked today. Dutch for real. Yeah, like Netherlands are good, but Sweden's not that good, bro. I think I was talking to you about this yesterday or the day beforehand. I just started to skip that because I needed some sleep last night after a 16-hour streaming. But Sweden aren't great, man. You know, they have been really poor in the World Cup qualifiers, and they've been really poor in the international friendlies as well. You know, a win against Tunisia was nothing spectacular. Like, it was a good win, but it was also Tunisia, who are they're mediocre. Tunisia is not a good team at all. Sweden were able to score well there, but the Netherlands are a good team, sure, but they're not, like, I wouldn't say that they're legit. I do think the Netherlands could go far. That's not me saying that, but it's just like that kind of comment alludes to the fact that, oh, wow, Netherlands had amazing win against Sweden. It's like, bro, Sweden aren't that great. They're really not that good. They're not that fantastic, man. Tiger says, but again, good win for the Netherlands regardless, but Sweden's not exactly a highly structured team to be looking at and going, wow, they beat Sweden? Sweden's not that fantastic. Warriors fan, but still rocking my Titans shirt today. Yeah, you damn well. I told you, Adam Flims, people just haven't come to terms with it yet. Everyone says they support the Panthers, they support the Waz, they support the Broncos, they support the damn well Tigers. Doesn't matter. Everyone says this, but they eventually should need and will come to terms with the fact that they are, in fact, a Gold Coast Titans fan. Come on. Let's be serious. You know, you say you was fan, you're wearing a Titans shirt. You are coming to terms with your reality that you are a Titans fan. Beautiful stuff, mate. Really impressed by you. Really impressed. Trayon says, speaking of an alternate universe where the Titans were not on top of the ladder, a win like that after the Broncos win, big future to the Coast, of course, in an alternate universe. Yeah, of course, in an alternate universe. No, it's a great win for the Gold Coast yesterday because it really was the coming out game of Zane Harrison. And regardless of the plays after Panthers, you've got to remember that the structures still ultimately remain the same. And again, that what Panthers team beat the Warriors a couple of weeks ago. But the structure and the defensive manipulation and the defensive strategies that are in place for the Panthers don't change, right? You will see slight deviations and whatnot, but the Panthers were still actually pretty good defensively yesterday. I think they still were above 90% on the tackle efficiency, defensive efficiency rate, and overall it took us a lot to be able to get over the line, and Zane Harrison found those passes, and that's what he's there for. That's what the halfback is there for. So it was like a coming out game for him against a very structurally good and defensive-minded Panthers team that, yeah, we're definitely hounded attacking-wise, but again, defensively, I guess the biggest loss is Mitch Kenny. Mitch Kenny's been out for a long time now. He's been out for a long time. Manny Arsenal says, good morning, mate. 4:50 a.m. here. Welcome all the way from the United Kingdom. Get around in England. Nikhil says, after the big favour from the Titans last night, the Wires better take advantage. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do need to take advantage of this. Even though, again, we've got to be honest with you, the points differential is a 120 points differential gap between you and the Panthers. So plus 152 to plus 272 to the Panthers. You're on 9 wins, they're on 12. It's 3 wins now, but it's essentially 4 wins. So if you win this, it'll be 2 wins now, but essentially 3 wins because that points differential is so big. That means that you need to win an extra game than the Panthers. So you will still need the Panthers to lose another 3 games, and you will still need to win all your games for the rest of the season. If they win every game of theirs except for 3, you need to win every single game. It's just not happening. You know, the Panthers next week, the Cowboys should be 20 to 1 odds. The Cowboys should be 50 to 1 odds next week against the Panthers. It really should be the case. The Cowboys just surely not beating that full-strength Panthers team coming off of a loss. They've only lost twice this season. One of the Bulldogs and one of the Titans. Funnily enough, the Bulldogs and the Titans actually play each other next week. It is up there in Queensland Country Bank Stadium in Townsville, but I also saw that the Cowboys got slapped by Manly up there in Townsville. So it's not exactly just a home resilient ground there for the Cowboys where they just simply always win. The Panthers, they should just simply get in that win there. Cleanses up the Wires. Yeah, good luck, man. I think the Wires should get this job done here today. They should. Daniel Bates this morning from Birmingham. Where are you watching from? He's watching from Gold Coast, mate. That's where he's watching it from. So yeah, don't forget after this we've got the Storm versus the Rays in a big game, and Roos versus Sharks. Chopper says Barry not in today. Barry's not been in the whole season. Sam says Panthers are on fraud alert for sure. Well, Sam, listen, champion, buddy, you said Panthers here? They're not here. Do I look like I'm laughing? It's serious stuff. It's serious business here, Sam. They're not on the ladder. How can I put the Panthers on the fraud alert if they're not on the ladder here? They're on the ladder. Come on, Sam. You've been here long enough. You've been here long enough to recognise that you cannot see the Panthers here, there, or everywhere. Gee whiz. Gee whiz, Sam. You got to really get with the times, mate. You got to really get with the times. It's raining. Oh, is it a wet game, is it? Oh, you don't really want to see that. Oh, it doesn't look like it's raining right now. Is it? It's raining here. I can't see anything at the moment. Oh, okay. I don't know why YouTube does this, but it's actually changed what you said there, Chris Matthews. So he said, Kia ora, bro. So it's changed it to it's raining, bro. Get around you, Chris. Yeah, because I was like, it doesn't look like it's raining here right now in Christchurch, but for some reason YouTube just like randomly changes to what people say sometimes. Hello, sir. Get around you, Jack. Nick Hill says the Wild's game is supposed to be played under the roof at the new stadium. Yes, there is a roof here, which is why it's definitely not raining. That's why it's definitely not raining. It's not raining in Birmingham. Yeah, it is. Yes, it is, Daniel. You just don't know it yet. Again, the reality that you Englishmen live under, you keep trying to tell me sunny day this and no clouds that and no wet weather this. It's like, come on, man. You know, there's water found in the ocean, mate. You cannot tell me that it's... You just simply can't tell me. It's not possible. It's not possible for it not to be raining in the old England. I'm sure it is. I'm really surprised that Tamalolo was on the bench here, though. Tamalolo on the bench is such a surprise. It is such a surprise for sure for the Cowboys, considering he's been one of their best players this season for sure. Minty, I'll be honest with you. I have no idea who you support. I swear you support everybody. Because you're getting around the Warriors here. Yesterday it was Titans. Yeah, the other day it was another team, and the Roosters at one stage, and Storm. Actually, no, Storm at another stage, and I don't actually know who you support, Minty. Daniel says very humid here and wet. Yeah, it always is wet though, Daniel, in England. Trace, I sadly think I may be becoming a Sharks fan. Wrong. Those bald heads keep drawing my attention every game they play. No, you're a Titans fan, but you can have a soft spot with the Sharks. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, Titans locked up the minor premiership last night. Best team currently in the NRL. Best team of all time in the NRL. Don't forget currently. Come on. Currently? What do you think this is, mate? What do you think this is? I'm actually low-key most excited about Storm Raiders today out of all three of these games. Forgive, but I wouldn't say that this is the most exciting game here today just because I know the Cowboys can be very underwhelming. I also know the Warriors can be very underwhelming. But that Roosters-Sharks game could quite literally be anything. The last time those two teams played, I had an aneurysm because it was just mentally bad in regards to the quality and the knock-ons and the errors. It was one of the worst games of the season. And I know that anything can happen from that game here today at Allianz. So I'm actually looking forward to that for the craziness that could ensue. And then in the second game, Storm Raiders, I think that whoever loses that one is probably just not going to be making that 8 by any means. I think the Storm need to keep this roll up. They really do. Warriors #1 fan. Minty, you said this about the Storm before. Who got Storm Raiders game? I got Storm. I think the Storm, they're in some good form. If they lose, then that shows to me that they're just not going to be doing it. They need to keep this momentum up. They've got good momentum. They need to play the same way the Panthers did last year and come home strong, but just a little bit stronger than what the Panthers did because they got knocked out in the preliminary final. It would be just amazing to me to see the Storm still find a way to make that grand final or to even make the finals, considering where they were at one stage, 7 losses in a row. I love this new stadium. It's going to give the Wars a big victory. Yeah, well, there's going to be a new team here too, which won't be the Wars probably in the next 5 years or so. Michael says, very happy with your Titans. Yes, last night I was at the Dogs vs Manly game, and I don't know if you would care before the game when Zane kicked the field goal, the announcer at a call told the stadium, and everyone was cheering. Yeah, because everyone wanted the Panthers to lose, mate. Everyone wanted the Panthers to lose. Yeah, no, that is good there. That is good. By the way, that Bulldogs Manly game, neither team wanted to win that. The last 10 minutes of that game was just horrific. It was just horrific to watch from both those teams. My goodness. My goodness, man. The Bulldogs did not want to win that, and Manly absolutely did not want to win that. That was just astounding, really. Deary me. Mike said everyone's cheering. Chris says Titans played very well yesterday. We did. Chopper says Talangi's been playing good. Talangi's been playing good, but he's a winger. But yeah, Talangi has been playing good, and I'm sure he's going to get a selection for... Is it Samoa? I think he's Samoan, isn't he? Coco Jumbo getting around an easy win. Nikhil says, have you already announced the try scorers in this game? Yes, I did. I went with Dalamatini Selesniak. I went with Marata Niokore, Murray Talangi, and also Jeremiah Nene. That's who I went with you. So, but Coco says easy win. Coco, I heard this from Warriors last week. I heard this from Warriors fans last week against the Sharks team that had no Adam Fanua-Blake, no Nico Hines, and Nico's back today, but no Adam Fanua-Blake, no Nico Hines, and no Britt Nakora. And I was being told that it was an easy win for the Warriors last week. So are you sure you want to go with the easy win here? I'm tipping you. Are you sure you want to go with the easy win? Because I got this last week as well. And people got humbled very quickly. So very quickly, Kokomu says, apparently there's a cat on Insta that has only got one FIFA game wrong so far. Can you send that to my Insta? Can you send that to my Instagram? I want to see it. What was the game? So what? It predicted Australia to beat Turkey, yeah? But the thing is that people don't realise this, right? With these cats and these dogs making these predictions on Instagram, you've got to remember that someone is holding something behind the camera for who they think they're going to tip. So this cat doesn't know jack in regards to which one it wants to go, but it's being brought to the attention of the one that the people who are filming want to predict in the game. As Clines has just seen an interview with Zane Harrison, didn't know he was a New South Welshman. Yeah, he played under 19s for you last year. Yeah, he was the under-19s New South Wales. Well, he came off the bench, but he was the under-19s New South Wales halfback. And I've always said this, and I said this last year too, he should have started. I think he's better than Mitchell Woods. And I've said it for a long time. I think he's better than Mitchell Woods. I thought he was better than Kobe Black, but people don't regard it because it's the Titans player. And Mitchell Woods is Bulldogs and Sydney product, and he plays in the New South Wales youth system, so of course he's going to get the rapport. The Broncos, massive team in Queensland. Kobe Black coming through the ranks there. Brilliant. He was the halfback for Queensland last year. And of course, he's going to get the rapport. But Zane Harrison was never going to get the same kind of accolades and the recognition because he's not a part of a big organisation and a big system. And I kept saying, Zane Harrison's better than them. And I still believe it. And I think we're starting to see it right now. You know, those guys haven't been able to do anything with their careers yet. And Zane Harrison, I believe, is younger than them. So, slightly younger than them anyway. Kobe Black still can't get a crack at the Raiders. And Zane Harrison obviously has now got 3 try assists in that one game and won a game against the Panthers. And had a few games now, won the Broncos game as well. And I think that he's just going from strength to strength with the Gold Coast Titans, whilst Mitchell Woods is unfortunately, he's got a lot of injuries, to be fair. But I think Zane Harrison's better than both of them. Coco says, I'm sure, 23 plus. Sure, okay, that's great. Again, though, it was a lot of people last week came in from the Warriors and said it was an easy win too, and you lost 10-8. It's the same thing happened with the Tigers game early this season and the Sharks game. So again, I'm tipping the Warriors here, and I think the Warriors do win, but I think you probably do need to maybe be just slightly a little bit careful about the expectations. But again, I do have the Warriors to win this game. Everyone cheered, so all Bulldogs fans are all secretly Titans fans. Trey, now you're starting to get it. See, Trey, now you're starting to get it. It's just about you think you are a Bulldogs fan, or you think you are a Warriors fan, or you think you are a Panthers fan. But ultimately, you will realise, and you have to come to terms with the fact that your core, your true core of your being, you are actually a Titans fan. Everybody is. Everybody is. Daniel says, what's your name, bro? My name is Blaze. Tiger Hood says, yeah, that was me. I was boasting and humbled. No, it wasn't you, but you do that too much anyway. Beck Bet says, how much are you betting? I'm not betting on this game. I don't really bet. I don't bet at all, actually. Bobby says, Panthers lost to your Titans. No. Bobby, seriously? No way. I don't believe it, Bobby. I don't believe it. All right, the Warriors are out on the field. We have seen the Cowboys run out as well. The game is about to get started here. Come on now. Hit that thumbs up button, guys. Subscribe if you are new around here. Was Cowboys here in the Christchurch. Big old game for the Waz to really re-establish themselves and make sure that they're on winning form in second position going into this back end of the season and a big game against the Dolphins next week. Whilst the Cowboys, they're desperate to get back into that top 8, but they can't even get into the top 8 this week because their points differential is just not going to be good enough unless the Roosters get absolutely pumpamundos by the Sharkies. And I mean Pampamundos as well. Bretton says scoreboard. Yeah, I think scoreboard's going to refresh itself at any moment now. How about your team, bro? Well done. Name from Meat Pie. What a random name to say after that. Yeah, appreciate you in regards to Titans, but what a random name to bring up in Griffin name. All right, so we are underway, and it will be the Warriors receiving the ball to 5, and Mitchell Barnett with a big bop bar, bringing it out to the 12 on first tackle. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe. 39 minutes to go here this first half, and the Warriors, look at these kits, but these kits are so sweet from the Wars. What throwback is this? This is a throwback. Is it like 2005 kind of times? Like when is this throwback for? Oh no, maybe like the late 1990s, early 2000s. I do love this jersey. It definitely is a throwback though. Mount Smart be looking different these days. Yeah, looking a little bit different, Dads, mate. Yeah, different cities too. The whole city of Auckland look a little bit too much like Christchurch here today, Daz. Not gonna lie. What a crowd. It is sold out here at Christchurch as they get ready for a new team to come in over the next few years at Christchurch is what we're being told at the moment. But the Cowboys, they're going to get taken down here at the 24 on first tackle. He nearly lost that ball, but it's okay. UK straight up the wires. Trayvon says, wonder if someone's going to get beat down as bad as the Chiefs did yesterday versus the Canes. Yeah, I saw that. That really is the emphasis of me, and that is the ultimate killer for Super Rugby, man. You can't have any grand final. And they've had 4 grand finals in a row, but to have a grand final to lose like 60-5 in a tournament that people already struggle to care about as it is, you just don't want to see that. You want to see it to go down the wire so people can remember how exciting rugby union is. That doesn't do anything for the game. What happened yesterday? It does absolutely nothing. Hurricanes fans, sure, they're going to be happy with it, but Lesniak gets his ball and he'll bring this ball out to the 25 on first tackle. Hurricanes fans will be over the moon and through the roof, but it does nothing for Super Rugby that, and it actually ultimately brings it down as well. 2000s when Warriors turned to New Zealand Warriors and Auckland Warriors. Yeah, that's the one. That's it. Canes have put 50 on every team they played in the finals. Big old yikes. They go to the left, and now it'll be Mitchell Barnett, 4 tackle at the 40 on the Cowboys side of the field, making good meters here. To be fair, they played the game in like monsoon winds. If the weather worried the whole game, and Mackenzie's just a bucket of errors. Well, that doesn't have any relevance to anything, though. Played like a monsoon. Yeah, but the Hurricanes still played in the same weather. They would have still played in the same conditions. It's the same condition for both teams. Warriors get the kick. They get the catch. Pompey can't get the offload away, though, and it's going to be Cowboys ball here at the 5. Nice work there from Adam Pompey, however. Nice work for him to grab that ball, and now the Cowboys are going to come out from their own 10. Beautiful. This smoke blowing the vision is annoying, that roof not allowing it to escape. Yeah, that's true. Oh my gosh, bad. Oh, luckily it's going to go backwards from the Cowboys. It was an offload, just such an unnecessary offload in such a dangerous position here. Griffin name rolls back to Reid Marnie. They get it across to Jeremiah Nene back into the action, and it'll be third tackle at the 25. Sorry. Yeah, smoke. Well, I think the smoke's kind of gone now, but yeah, it took a little bit. Fourth tackle now at the 30. Reid Marnie, Jake Clifford. He's just going to put that ball up at 4 tackle at 30. So very good winning set there for the Warriors because they're going to get onto the front foot already. So they're winning the field position battle massively at the moment. The first set they got out to about the 40. They got out to the 40 on the Cowboys side of the field. Now it's second tackle and they're already basically at the halfway point. So this is not an attacking set, but it's on the breach of it. Leah Tower. Oh, look how strong Leah Tower is. Look at the post contact. He gets all the way to the 40. That's a strip. Yeah, that's a penalty. Penalty to the Warriors, and they're going to get an attack and set right now. Japan 1-0 on Tunisia already. This is what I'm trying to say to people. Tunisia's not good. That's why when we had the comment before saying the Netherlands are legit, I'm just like, Netherlands are decent, but Tunisia's not good. And Sweden, not that great. First tackle here at the 15. They're just better than Tunisia. They go to the right. And Aaron Clark, I would have loved to have streamed that Japan versus Tunisia game, but obviously I cannot. Third tackle now for the Warriors. They are 15 metres out from the line. Actually, now it's third tackle at the 5. I thought that was third tackle before, but absolutely not. Wade Egan out to Aaron Clark. Here we go. Chance of the Wars. Chance of the Wars. Oh, he's been tackled without the ball there. Yep, penalty. Penalty to the Warriors. Don't take the 2, Warriors. Don't take the 2. He's been tackled without the ball. He's been tackled without the ball. This is the correct call. I saw it live. Yeah, keep playing here, Warriors. Don't go for the 2, please. Jacob Laban's been fouled there. Surely you go for the try here, Wise. Yep, good choice. Very good choice. Give us a near quarter. Do you have him in fantasy, or have you put him on for a bet? And my try score predictions did have Marata near quarter in it. Up the Bunny says, I got Cowboys to win. Bunnies with another fantastic one as always. I just think that the Warriors have major injuries and that'll eventually hurt them in the long run. Okay, well, Tane to our picky is 3 meters out here from the line, second tackle. Oh, yes, because the Cowboys don't have a major injury to their talisman, Tom Didden. And Tom Lyle on the bench. And Warriors right to the right line, left-hand side here. Jackson Ford, he'll be 2 meters out from the line, third tackle at the back. Warriors over the top. Chance. Oh, he had to step back. That's a high tackle. Yep, penalty here. The Warriors. Cowboys, he'll discipline does. Okay, so the Cowboys losing their last 2 games in a row up the Bunnies by 13-plus margins, being without Tom Dearden and having the 10th worst attack and the 10th worst defense. So the 10th best attack and the 10th best defense. You now think that the Warriors are the ones that have the biggest problems? I'll be there for the All-Whites tomorrow, Tukatoro Metro. Yeah, for sure. I did the All-Whites game against Iran. That was awesome. That was it was one of the games of the tournament. I loved that Turkey versus Paraguay game yesterday. Yeah, I streamed most of the World Cup games, man. I just needed some sleep last night after 16 hours straight of streaming. They go to the right, take to a picky. Oh, too close. 1 meter out. 1 meter out to Marty Martin. They go Wade Egan, Aaron Clark. Aaron Clark runs it himself. He's going to be 5 meters away here from the line. 5 meters out. Wade Egan, left-hand side. Harris Tavuda. There's a shot time for Chance Nickel Gluckstadt. There's a shot time for Chance Nickel Gluckstadt. Boom. 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 Chance Nickel Gluckstadt with a try time. Canada Switzerland's going to be a cracker. I didn't really want to time you out for that. But it's a try time for the Chance Nickel Gluckstadt man on the wing. That would have been a Lofty Khan Pereira if he was here, but Shans will score, and it's 4-0 here with the kick to come. 4-0 here with a kick. Amundos to come. Amundos. Trey versus Switzerland. Stop it. Oh, yeah, no, that's really exciting, man. But no, I'll be live for Spain to Cape Verde tonight. We've also got... Actually, who is the games tonight? Have a look. I know Spain versus Cape Verde, and I know New Zealand play at 8 a.m. tomorrow my time, which will be on a good time for you guys in New Zealand. That's 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, about 3 p.m. your time. Unbelievable time slot. Sorry, Spain versus Saudi Arabia tonight and Belgium versus Iran. I probably will skip Uruguay versus Cape Verde, but we'll see. I might do that. We'll see. And then New Zealand, Egypt, I'll definitely be live for. I'll definitely be live for that one. Trey has been timed out for 60 seconds by Daz, mate. Yeah, look, it's making sense to me, Daz. It's making sense. Wait, is that the Mighty Warriors people? Tigers was back. Josh says it was there for the Bulldogs. Gee whiz, that game yesterday. Neither team wanted to win it. They were both desperate to lose it, mate. They were both desperate to lose that game. I can't believe the Bulldogs, they actually decided to win the game because it didn't look like they wanted it. I'm not going to get carried away yet, but great start. The attackers looking sharp. The attacks look fine so far. Cowboys have been very ill-disciplined so far, that's for sure. And the Warriors, if they keep getting opportunities like this, they will put a score through them. Iraq versus France. That is not tonight. I think that's on Tuesday, no? Iraq versus France. Yeah, it's not until Tuesday. As a Panthers fan, I just want to say, all hail the mighty Titans. Guys, see, you're starting to get it. You're starting to see the revolution. You start to see the revolution on the Gold Coast. You know, we've had Bulldogs fans cheering Zane Harrison's field goal yesterday. We've got Panthers fans here saying all hail the mighty Titans. We've had a Warriors fan before talking about how bloody good the Titans were and that he's still wearing a Titans jersey or something like that. You know, you got to start to recognize I'm not talking shit. I don't ever talk shit. It's a very serious channel. I've never made a joke in my life. Never, ever made a joke in my life. It's like that movie where you can't lie with Ricky Gervais. It's like that here. I'm not lying. I'm not talking. And Wade Egan taking out the 45 on 4th tackle. I'm not lying. That's a 6 again for sure. Yep, there's a 6 again for the Warriors. Cowboys are going to get pumpty. Cowboys might get pumpty, guys. They look ill at this point today. They look all over the place. Clemson, who scored? Charles Nickel-Klokstad. Charles Nickel-Klokstad. Chance scored. Second tackle here at the 35. Zane Harrison has never lost to the Panthers, correct? That is correct. Zane Harrison owns the Panthers. Wade Egan at the back into Mitchell Barnett. And Barnett's going to bring this ball here to the 23 on third tackle. 10 minutes gone here, guys. 10 minutes gone, 30 minutes to go. The first half. Hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe. Aaron Clark left hand side to Money Martin. Short ball through the line. Jacob Laban. Oh, how has he been stopped there? 5 metres out. 5 metres out. The Warriors go short side. And Chance Nickel-Klokstad. Chance Nickel-Klokstad. Chance Nickel-Klokstad. Chance Nickel-Klokstad. Chance Nickel-Klokstad. Chance Nickel-Klokstad. 10-0, baby. The Warriors have gone bang, bang. Braden Burns has been slabbed. And the Waz, they are already up 10-0 with a kick to come. Other one says, what are you doing, Cowboys? Bunnies, I don't think you made your prediction based off of anything. I really don't. Because like you said, the Warriors have injuries, but also, like at the end of the day, Tamani Martin and Harris Avita has been a relatively consistent, it's not been their main, but it's been a relatively consistent halves pairing. Okay, they've got no Fisher Harris, but Jackson Ford could have easily and should have easily been in New South Wales this year. Mitchell Barnett is in New South Wales this year. Aaron Clark is one of the best 13s in the game. They've got a really potent 2-3-5, and Wade Egan's a fantastic hooker. Like, okay, sure, they're without Fisher Harris and whatnot, but the Sharks are a much better team than the Cowboys. People don't understand the Cowboys, and I struggle to believe that the people who truly believe in the Cowboys are either... They have to be fans. They have to be fans, or they don't watch their games. Because the Cowboys are 10th best for attack and 10th best for defense. And they're without Tom Dearden, and they've decided to make changes here. This Cowboys team is not what you've been sold to believe, and that's why it's amazing to me that the Cowboys have re-signed Todd Payten, because I don't believe in Todd Payten. Todd Payten right now is reminding me exactly what Adam O'Brien was 2, 3, 4 years ago with the Newcastle Knights. Todd Payten is absolutely a grifter, I promise you. Todd Payten is a grifter. He is a pure grifter. The Cowboys will... Oh, well, you're spamming. You're going to have to slow it down a little bit there. You're going to have to slow it down a little bit. Todd Payten's a grifter. He have a team that plays extremely poorly. They will win. They'll do okay for the first half of the year. They'll do good for the first half of the year, and they'll fall off a cliff. But everyone will circle jerk him when he's going well. They will forget about how poor he was beforehand when they weren't going well. The first 2-3 games this season, people said it's time to sack Todd Payten because of the recent years of Todd Payten and the Cowboys. Then they've gone on a run, which doesn't actually make sense. It just means they're working together as a team. It doesn't make sense in regards to overall quality. Right now, they are giving a perfect example of what a team in the mid-purgatory levels of the competition are. They are a purgatory team, the Cowboys. They're not amazing. They're not the worst. They're right here. That's what 10th is. They are purgatory. Why re-sign Todd Payten halfway through the year? Why don't you let the season play out? And I guarantee you the Cowboys fans and the Cowboys organization will be back on the wavelength of Todd Payten's not that good. They missed a kick, by the way. 10-0 here, 12 minutes in. And they're away here. Wade Egan, take 12 pick. Oh, Scott Drinkwater's intercepted it. Scott Drinkwater intercepted that. No way. No way, Scott Drinkwater. That is unbelievable. It should have been a try. It should have been 16-0. Scott Drinkwater just did a Darius Boyd. That was an incredible intercept there from Scott Drinkwater. That was an incredible intercept by Scott Drinkwater. Talangi out to the left-hand side. And Zach Laban run into his own play there. Second tackle at the 5. Scotty does know, baby. Scotty does know. By the way, moderators, please keep an eye on what I just had the timeout, that kind of stuff. Third tackle here at the 10. 10-0 grace up of the Warriors. It could have easily been 16-0, but Scotty Drinkwater came up with a miracle play. Reid Marnie out to Clifford, and now they'll be 5 metres out through Cohen Hess. Reid Marnie. I don't believe you watch Cowboys games, Bunnies. I'll be honest with you. I'll put my hand up and say I don't believe you watch Cowboys games. I don't believe it. Reid Marnie, 66-minute gain from fantastic intercept by Drinkwater. Oh, Jeremiah Nace is so close. It's going to be a knock-on, though. It's going to be so close. I want you to explain to me why. That's all I want. I want you to tell me what you're seeing with the Cowboys that I'm not. because since Dearden's gone down, they lost 40-14 last week to the Dolphins. They lost oh no, I know why he's circle jerking them. No. I get it. I understand why he's circle jerking them, because they beat the Rabbitohs. So he wants to make it feel. He wants to feel like because they beat the Rabbitohs, they're a well-beaten team. Now I get it. Okay, I see through it now, buddies. Yeah, I see through it now, man. Third tackle now to 35. 14 minutes gone. You had to ruin the moment by mentioning that Darius Boyd. It was a great moment, though, wasn't it? It was a great moment. Wesley says early days. It's very early days in this game. Daniel says typical South Island crowd. They all booed. What in right is an accidental offside. I don't even know what you said. Well, I'm not going to get involved in this typical South Island stuff, but 1 second. Warriors. The ball's going to bounce over the sideline. What was Dallin doing there? It's rugby, not league. I don't know what you're actually saying there. They all booed what in right is an accidental offside. I don't know what you're saying. Oh, but if it's not like that, give me one statistic that goes against what I'm saying here. They pay for tickets. They can do what they want. Well, yeah, they can do what they want. I don't know what we're talking about though. Like, what are they booing? I didn't even hear like booing. There must have been something that was booed that I didn't hear about. Libby says I got milk. Yeah, well, I got Coke Zero. Then I got a damn well Titans competition coming in this year. That's what I got. Third tackle now to 40. By the way, Olivia, is your boyfriend up the bunnies here? Is that him? Is he the one? Is that the one right there? Oh, Cowboys right through. Beautiful little run through. Oh, he should have passed that. Oh, they still might score it. Then he passes it out to the right. Oh, man. They had to try to the post if he had to pass the inside. Rob Viking 1 Aviation says, up to Waz to get back to winning ways. No, I'm going to... Oh, this is incredible. Gentlemen, today's the at the 5. Bunny says, because on paper you'd think the Cowboys would be at least or 6th or 7th at best, but they are just playing very off. I don't know what it is. What? Bro, pre-season, everyone was putting this team for last on paper. Pre-season, this Cowboys team, I think I put them in 4th last. Everyone in the NRL was putting the Cowboys for last on paper, and that was inclusive of Tom Dearden in the team. What do you mean they're a 6th or 7th team on paper? 6th or 7th team on paper? Bro, this team was roasted preseason. They've proven everybody wrong to get where they are, and that's fantastic. But 6th or 7th on paper is crazy. Yeah, if he passed it left, Scott James, the Cowboys would have scored under the pose. He would have scored under the pose. All right, so it's going to be first tackle now. First tackle for the Cowboys. Up the Bunnies has 2 phones and he's Googling answers too. It has to be. What does he mean? Dana says it's a rugby-dominated crowd. They booed a play from the Cowboys that if it was in rugby, it was an accidental offside. The play was not an accidental offside in league, so they booed for nothing. Who cares, man? Sure, who cares? That's going to go out of the 25. It's actually not a bad kick there from Reid Marnie. He was going for 40-20, but it'll be out of the 25. 6th or 7th. I don't know if I can get past it. I don't know if I can move past it, lads. 6th or 7th? Jeez. Look, you know what? I reckon you should move to Townsville. They'll love you up there, man. They'll love you up there. Daniel says, definitely thought at the start of the season the Cowboys would be bottom half myself. Yeah, it's like, again, it's awesome to see the Cowboys have proven everybody wrong in their preseason expectations. And they've been getting wins, which is the most crucial and ultimately the most important part. It's the same thing with the Warriors last year. The Cowboys this year are very similar to how the Warriors are this year in a lot of ways, just not as good as what the Warriors are doing this year to what the Cowboys did last year. It's the sense that the points differential tells you everything you need to know right now. So it's going to be a penalty of the Warriors at the 35. The comp is evening itself out. They're not going to finish as low. Oh, that's a bad eye tackle, bro. They're bad. Olivia is up the Bunnies. Dump him. If it is up the Bunnies, dump him now. Dump him now. 6th or 7th is crazy, man. Okay, you know what other one is? I'm trying to entertain this. So let's assume they're 6th. Who are the only 5 teams that are above them? I only want to hear that. That's all I want to hear. Who are the only 5 teams on paper fully fit that are above them this year? I don't want to hear Rabbitohs because you'd have Payne Haas say next year. Next year, I get it. This year, name me 5 teams on paper that are better because I'm going to use this to see the teams that you didn't include. Warriors, left-hand side, Wade Egan right through. High tackle again. Dude, they're so well this one here. I'd consider a bin. I'd consider a bin if I'm Grant Atkins. This is getting ridiculous. This is getting ridiculous from the Cowboys. I would consider a bin over these next few moments. This is getting stupid. I'm no expert in the NRL, but they just seem an unremarkable team at times. Correct. They have good attacking players on the edges and can cause problems to some teams. Yep. Yeah, he's warning them now. Yeah, Grant Atkins is right here. Just a lack of discipline. He's just warning Ruben Cotter. No malice in it. Yeah, that's fine, Ruben. That's fine. But also, it's happened a lot so far. Panthers, Warriors, Roosters, Seagulls, and Knights. Seagulls on paper? On paper, you've got Seagulls as a top 5 team in this competition. On paper, I think Manly are doing fantastic this year, but on paper is pretty crazy to me. On paper is wild to me. I think Manly have done a really good job, but on paper is wild to me. And you haven't included Cronulla? And you put Newcastle? Oh my, no, that's it. I'm done. Second tackle. Knights on paper. I can't do it. Do you know? I can't do it. Second tackle here, 5 metres out. Newcastle on paper is a top 5 team. Is insane, bro. Third tackle here at the 10. Tamani Martin, Alilia Tower, flicks it off to Martinez Lesniak. At the 5. What are you doing? Knights are playing well, but there's a difference between playing well and being on paper. Do you know what on paper represents? It means that the recognition for the players that are currently just the names themselves, not the actual playing ability on the field. Not the actual playing on the field. Left-hand side, they kick this ball through. Cowboys will get it at the 5 on first tackle. 20 minutes gone in the first half, 20 minutes to go. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Sweet Savage up the wires. That paper should only be used to smoke blunts if that's the case. Second tackle here at the 5 for the Cows. Knights top 5 on paper is the most incredible thing you've said up the Bunnies. Frenton, as a Knights fan, I want, and I know you'll be legit here with me, I want you to give me a legitimate response. Where would you, as a Knights fan, put the Knights on paper? And genuinely think about it. I'm interested to hear your thoughts here. Fifth tackle now for the Cowboys at the 30. And they're going to whack this ball down into the corner where it should be taken to a picky. Oh my gosh. Chance Neil clocks out. He doesn't know, to be fair. He usually is a fullback kind of deal or a centre. Now he's playing wing at a track back, and but you've got to let that ball go for Tane there, bro. Second tackle. No, he gets the off the way down. Martinez Lesniak. Jackson Ford's got a hurt shoulder at the moment. Martinez Lesniak at the 50 on second tackle. God bless him. God bless Jackson Ford. Only paper the Knights are on is fish and chip paper. Again, I'm not even here trying to shit on the Knights. I'm just... the Bunnies, you're going from bad to worse right now, man. On paper is amazing. They do have a good spine number, 1 through 1, 6, and 7. So the Warriors are going to be here at the 15. We're going from bad to worse, Bunnies. I know he wanted to add the Bunnies into that top 5 too, but he didn't do it because I said don't do it. To Money Martin, straight through the line. Gets the odd ball offload to Maratania Corre. Tato Picky. I think that's a knock on there from Leotower. I think it's a knock on. Yep, it's going to be Cowboys ball at 10. No, you're not doing it for laughs, buddies. I know you well enough here. You guys don't know. You're commenting enough across months and years and weeks. I know the types of comments. You are not trolling, bunnies. This is your genuine opinion, and that's why we're replying like this. Don't try and cop out with the, I'm just doing this for laughs now, because every single comment you ever do is on this same wavelength. You never say you're laughing then. You're laughing now because you're like, well, shit, maybe I am crazy to put the Knights in the top 5 on paper. Brenton says, bro, I would have to go through all the teams, but it would be above the Cows. Yeah, I'd put the Knights team on paper above the Cows. Yeah, I'd agree with that one. I would agree with that. On paper, I'd say the Knights are a better team on paper because you've got Fletcher Sharp, who's really good, Cameron Ponga, Dylan Brown. I don't really rate Phoenix Cross on as much as other people do, but then again, he's still the New Zealand hooker, so absolutely. You know, you've got... that's going to be a penalty to the Cowboys at the 25. You do have Bradman Bess, and Dane Gagai, I guess, is still paper. On purely on paper, you kind of use his whole career, right? That's what on paper really represents. Like on paper is ignoring age and form. It's based off, the recognition for a player. Definitely Manly. Definitely Manly. I don't know if their forwards on paper get them over the line, mate. And then you've got Luke Brooks and Jamal Fogarty. I think you're being coerced into thinking that based off of the year so far. They go to the left-hand side of the 20 at the 15. Murray to Lungi at the 10. He's 8 metres out, second tackle here. They have Luke Brooks. I want to time you out. I want to time you out now. That's what I want to do. Reid Marnie to Scott Drinkwater. Oh, that pass. What? Did that touch a Warrior? Surely that had to. Yeah, 6 again. I was going to say, how did that even happen just then? Oh, no, and then that's going to be a knock on. Well, there's definitely a knock on. Okay, I don't know. What? Okay, so it's going to be 0 tackle here for the Cowboys. No idea how that wasn't a knock on for the Cows, even though it should have just come back for a first knock on Warriors regardless. First tackle here for the Cowboys. Reid Marnie to Jackson Purdue. Jake Clifford. Quick pass over the top here for Braden Burns. Strike time for the Cowboys. Strike time for the Cowboys, and it's 10 points to 4 here with a kick to come. 10 points to 4. Well, Warriors, you've had opportunities to really blow this away early here, but you haven't been able to really go on with it just yet. The Cowboys haven't had much football. Well, with digital news, it's hard to get fish and chips wrapped in newspaper these days. Actually, that's a good point. What do they use? So I'm in Vietnam, and I'll be in Kazakhstan next month, so it's going to be very different, but great pass there. What do they use for fish and chip paper nowadays? Because, yeah, back in the day, it used to be the old newspaper. Back in my day. Yeah, exactly right, Ibrahim. Like, even though what you said was pretty ridiculous, bunnies, you got to stick by your guns. You got to stick with your choice. You're back. I didn't say it with chest, man. I say stupid shit, but I'm going to say stupid shit with chest. I say it with chest. You got to say your stuff with chest, man. At the end of the day, it's your opinion. I can laugh at it, just like you can laugh at my opinion, but still say it with chest. I'm very old and I've never remembered a time when I received fish and chips in newspaper. But that's because you're in England. See, you're in England, son. Australia's God's country. New Zealand's also God's country. All right, Jake Clifford from the wing. He will miss the kick. It will be 10 points to 4. 10 points to 4 to the Warriors here with 15 and a half minutes to go of the first half. Yeah, back in the day, family size was $10. Now it's about 40. Did I remember when I would finish school and I'd jump on the bus to come home, there was like a corner shop, and most of us will have the same life here, but I'd get off the bus, I'd have my shirt untucked, I'd have my tie open around my neck, and I'd go straight to the corner shop and I'd just get, I think it was like $5 for a massive lot of chips with chicken salt. And oh my gosh, me and my mates would just slap it. We would slap the living shit out of that. It was the greatest ever. I can feel it now. I can feel the vibe now. We would slap a massive thing of fries for like $5. Oh my gosh. Unbelievable. Second tag, I'm getting nostalgia. And then eventually they ended up building a McDonald's in Merrimack, and that was over. I actually worked at that McDonald's for a little bit. Daniel says, you get fish and chips for about average 12 quid here. Fish is very expensive nowadays. Fish is very expensive nowadays? To be fair, we're surrounded by ocean. In Fiji, you can get lobster for like $20. Fijian. But in Australia, you'll be paying like $150 Australian. That's going to go at the full. Oh, no. Chance is having a very worrying game at the back here. On the wing. He's having a very worrying game catching the ball on the wing. He nearly made that. Oh, it's a 40-20 they just call here. I didn't think that went inside the 20, did that? Is that a 40-20? I didn't think that was at the 20. Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah, it is inside the 20. That's on Chance. That's on Chance there. That is on Chance. So the Cowboys now 8 metres away from the line. Well, Warriors, you've gone to sleep right now. You've gone to sleep. Reed Marnie off to Thomas McHaley. Oh, he's been so close to a try. They go to the right. And Purdue will be 10 metres away, third tackle. They go to the left to Ruben Cotter. And Cotter's going to be 3 metres away from the line now, fourth tackle. Reed Marnie at the back here to Purdue. Clifford, Drinkwater. I'm a little bit scared that there may be an obstruction here because of a player running through that might block off a run from a Warriors player, but I'm pretty certain they're going to call it a try. So it's going to be a try time here for the Cowboys, and it's 10 points to 8 with a kick to come. However, I just want to make sure that the Warriors player wasn't obstructed by that Cowboys player running through. But the Warriors defensively here have just been rough to watch so far. Cowboys just go straight on through. Charles Newell-Klokstad. That is unfortunately a bit on you there, man. No, it's completely fine. No, it's a fine try. It's a try time, so it's 10 points to 8 with a kick to come. 10 points. This game was over if that intercept didn't happen. If Scott Drinkwater does not get that intercept and Tane Tuapiki runs underneath the post, that is game over 16-0. They're going to run away with it. Since then, the Cowboys have had the momentum. CK's a flop. He needs to go off. Settle down. Daniel says, if you enjoy being ripped off, the UK is your country. Come hither, people. No, I'm okay. When I was a kid, $2 to $3 chips from the takeaways could feed 3 or 4 of us easy. The good old days. Oh, great days. Great days. So this should be 12-12 any moment now. I love how we've got a camera angle here from outside the stadium, and we can see the cars outside on the reflection. We're looking at the reflection at the moment. That's too funny, dude. Like, it's a cool shot, but also we're looking at the reflection of cars right now. So it's a tie game. Warriors, what we doing, son? What we doing? 20 minutes, Warriors had so much ball, yet only 5 minutes with the Cowboys, and it's 10-10. Yep. Yeah, Warriors defense is not really defending right now. Not really defending at all. Tie game. Grass-proof type paper here in the UK. Newspapers, legit. That's the one. That's the damn well one. All right, so the Cowboys with the ball at 15. And now they'll go left-hand side to the 20 on second tackle. Trey says, just took DW's for $2. I really think that he should be on for a big game here. It's just the Warriors, they've dominated the first probably 20 minutes. The last 9 minutes, 8.5 minutes really have been all Cowboys. And Dallon's not really been able to get an opportunity down that wing. But again, like, it comes off of that back of that intercept from Scott Drinkwater for the first try, and then it comes off the back of that 40-20 for the second try because Chance is really working out that left wing. He's trying to figure out how to play it. Potential pectoral injury for Jackson Ford. That's a big loss. Oh, that's a big loss if that's true. God bless him. I hope that's not true, but that is a big loss, and especially with that when they're already without James Fisher-Harris. So, here we go. Good offload there. They'll get at the back here to Vaimalga. Vaimalga then gets it off to Tamati Martin. And Tamati Martin, he'll be at the 42 on third tackle. 10 minutes to go in the first half here, guys. Hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're new around here. 10 minutes to go. Warriors now at the 35 on fourth tackle. Jasmine says, watching from Bangkok. Get around here in Bangkok. I was there just the other month. I am currently in Vietnam at the moment. Dylan Watings-Lesniak. Dylan Watings-Lesniak to the wing at the 15, at the 10, the 5. It's fit tackle for the Waz. Fit tackle for the Waz right now at the 5. They get it back here to Harris Tavita. That's a good kick in a good area. Warriors go up for it. Catch it. Laban try time for the Warriors. Boom, 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 boom. They're going to the bunker. No try. He's saying that he thinks he knocks it on the ground. I'm pretty certain. I thought he got it. Personally. He catches it there. Genuinely contesting it there. I thought he kept possession. It was just if it was short or not. Yeah, no, another feeling, Jasmine. It's hot here in Nha Trang as well. Has possession. As long as he maintains his possession all the way to the ground here. Oh! He lost his possession. Yeah, no, it's a correct call. Good call, Grant Atkins. No try. No try. Home the NRL says, do the Warriors not have anyone to put at wing? CNK playing at wing for the first time in 9 years. Yeah, and it's very obvious that it's his first game there in 9 years too. He's already run into Tane Tuapuki when it was a pretty clear ball for Tane Tuapuki, and he's made a mistake, which should have been easy for a grab to prevent a 40-20. It should have been an easy grab to prevent the 40-20. 10-10 here with 10 minutes to go the first half. So I guess that's why they're going Will Warburg next year. They'll have depth there for sure. Japan 2-0. Who scored for him? Can you tell me who scored? Has Ito scored? Do you want to Ito? I really hope he has. I got him in my fantasy team. Actually, did I end up putting him in my fantasy team? What the hell? Daichi Kamada. Why do I have Kamada on my bench? Oh, Cowboys going to knock this ball on here, and the Warriors are now going to bring this ball out here to the 40. That's really confusing me. My fantasy team just absolutely confused me. Rob Vikings says, need some Vietnam temperatures here in Auckland. Yeah, it's hot here. Yeah, if that's a peg for a 4, that's awful luck. It is. How long is Fisher Harris out for, Warriors fans? How long is he out for? 0 tackle here with that set restart for the Warriors. Now first tackle at the 50. Aussie will come back hard in FIFA World Cup. Arianol, hopefully, mate. We play Butterway. All we need is a draw and we're through in second. And then there's a chance we play you Kiwis. If you guys can find a way to come second in your group, we'll play you in the knockout round of 32. Left hand side here. And Pompey's going to get this ball to the 30 on third tackle. They go to the right-hand side to Chanel Harris-Davida at the 30. Tamati Martin and Tanner Stowers-Smith. He's going to be 24 metres out, 4 tackle. They go Tamati Martin, short ball into the line for Aaron Clark. He'll be 15 metres away, 5th tackle. Can they take back the lead right now? They give it to Tamati Martin. Ball inside. Not the play. Not the play at all. But it will be Cowboys bought the 5 here. At least they force them to run 95, but not the play there for mine. If New Zealand play Oz in a World Cup, would be pretty epic. It would be epic, mate. Round of 32 would be epic against the Kiwis. But again, that relies on them getting a big result tomorrow against Egypt. If you want to come second, ultimately you have to win tomorrow because you're not beating Belgium. You're not. Set restart here with the Cowboys. First tackle out to 33. Drinkwater the right-hand side. The Cowboys have definitely finished this first half the stronger. And this is what's going to happen. Like, at the end of the day, that injury at Jackson Ford's really hurt them here. They go out to the right, and the Cowboys are going to be here at the 40. I would say this has been probably one of the better Cowboys games I've seen so far, besides that first 15. Cowboys. Oh, wow. It's an intercept there by Leah Tower. That's not good. That is not good there from the Cowboys. He had to tip it up for himself as well, and he gets it. That'd be an interesting stream. Oz versus New Zealand. Hope it's a decent time here in the UK. Well, what? With all due respect, man, I don't think we give a shit if it's a good time in the UK. We want it to be a good time for Australia and New Zealand. We want it to be a good time for us. Third tackle at the 40. So they go out to the right. And now they'll be at the 34 on 4 tackle. 6:50 to go. Crazy how well Oz are playing when their squad value is 36 out of 48 countries. Yep, correct. Just wish we would select the right players. Chance! Nickel Glockstad, chance, Nickel Glockstad, Nickel Glockstad. Draw time for the Waz. 14 to get to come. So he's making up for it defense. He's making up for his poor defense with his great attack right now. Chance does not know how to defend as a winger, but he knows how to score a try. That's a hat trick for Chance. That is a hat trick for Chance. Nickel Klokstad. Jeez, a Lofiana Khan Pereira would have absolutely annihilated it, eh? Try time. Fraud alert means potential fraud. Fraud alert means potential fraud. Took the wrong winner this week. Charles Newell Clockstad is having an absolute field day right now, attacking wise. Defensively, they're having a field day on him, but attacking wise, he's having a field day on them. 14-10 with a kick to come. The big old Chance in the corner. Beautiful. Damn, first half, Hattie. Home of the NRL's Chance single-handedly winning and losing this game. Exactly right. Yeah. Really poor defensively, but very, very good attacking-wise. And a Lafayette Khan Pro would have just destroyed this game if he was healthy. If he was healthy, he'd be on 17 tries already himself. Okay, so Aiden, I see your comments, man, but like, bro, you're not giving me 500,000. You don't have 500,000 to give me if the Socceroos win the World Cup. So 5 minutes to go here the first half. So like, why? That's why I ignore those kind of comments, because like, what's the point of me reading out? If the Socceroos win the World Cup, we'll give you 500k. You don't have 500k to give, and you're not giving 500k. You're just not doing it. If you do it, great, but you're not giving 500k because you don't have 500k. CNK is a great player. How many tries will he end up with today? 5 or 6? Yeah, well, he's got plenty of time to make some more. He's got plenty of time to make some more, but it's just that defensively he's been really poor here. Beautiful Christchurch there. It's beautiful sunset in the Christchurch right now. Brother, hopefully my Warriors keep stacking the points. Well, it's been very, very mixed so far. Like, there's been some really good moments for the Wars, and there's been some really poor moments for the Wars. At least they are leading right now. The stadium is immense. The 20th team seems like a no-brainer to me. Bro, I've been calling for 5-10 years. I've been calling on these streams for, at the very least, the last 5 years. Whenever, as you guys would know, we obviously stream every single game here. So I get the question a lot. Who do you think should be added in? Who do you think we should make as a new team? Where's the expansion going? And I have always maintained that the second New Zealand team on the South Island was always the most important place to go. 6 again here for the Warriors. It was more important than Perth. It was more important than Papua New Guinea. Fuck me. To be even talking about Brisbane again is insane to me after we added in the Dolphins. You know, a fifth Southeast Queensland team. I get the audience in the Western Corridor, but New Zealand are crying out for some more rugby league here with the Super Rugby absolutely downhill. International rugby is still fantastic, but you know, Super Rugby is super downhill. It's crying out for a team to create a rivalry here. The Warriors don't actually have a rivalry. 20 months away here. They have a rivalry with the Cowboys right now as they're putting a score past them, maybe. 4 tackler at the 18. 4 minutes to go the first half. The Warriors back onto the attack. Shannon Harris to Vida to Tanner Stowers-Smith. And Stowers-Smith will be 15 metres away from the line. Stowers-Smith should be signed by the Sharks, to be fair, with his bald head. To Marty Martin. Back underneath is Harris-Smith. Wade Egan. Quick passing. Oh, it's a good pass from Barnett. Left hand side. It's going to be Chance Nickel Klokstad with not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4. It's a 4-piece for the Chance Nickel Klokstad. Oh, it's a 4 pass. Oh, they've caught a 4 pass on Chance Nickel Klokstad. Oh, otherwise it was going to be 4 tries for Chance, but it is going to be called as a forward pass. I think must be against Adam Pompey. It must have caught a forward pass against Pompey. I don't know why we're going all the way back here. I want to see this left-hand side attack and play. And it'll be third tackle now for the Cowboys, and they'll be at the 33 minutes to go here at the game. Oh, the first half, sorry. Trey says, CNK is just a communist winger, making sure equally being amazing on offense and being bad on defense. What a random comment. Tanner Stowers-Smith would be a good sign, though. Look, the Sharks are the ballsters. They are the king of the ball. You cannot go to... Nico Hines, if he goes bald, that'll sell me everything. If Nico Hines goes bald, I think it's time for me to go bald. And then I never become a Sharks fan, but gee whiz, like I think I'd buy a Sharks jersey and wear. You know what? Nico Hines ever goes bald, I'll wear a Sharks jersey on stream. I'll do that. How about that? Because then that'll make me truly believe that the Sharks are the most inclusive ball team on the planet. Third tackle now. And they go to the right to Dalmatines Lesniak. Here we go over the top. Out to Leah Tower. Leah Tower will push this ball to the 50 on 4 tackle. If Nico Hines goes bald, I'll go bald, Nikhil. Cosmic says go to the Titans. And they're the greatest team on the planet Earth, Cosmic. They're the greatest team on the damn world planet Earth, and it makes me sick. 50-minute game there. The Warriors, it's going to be allowed to bounce here. Cowboys touch it. 6 again. 6 again. Warriors will get one last opportunity here to put it past them here. Or have they called this originally as a knock-on from the Waz? What? Hold on. Why is this Cowboys ball? Ball is the way forward for sure. No, I think this is Warriors ball. They're going to challenge this. They're going to challenge it. Will you be wearing a hit on the stream or not? Will I be wearing a hit on the stream? I don't even know what that is. Braden Burns. First touch. Yeah. It was obvious it was off Braden Burns. It was obvious. So this will be a restart of the tackle count, and the Warriors will get this ball 1 meter away from the line. Well done, blocker. Depends like your life depends it on now. 14 points to 10, but they could put it to a 2-score game with a try. Right now, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you're new. We've got Storm Raiders after this. And then we will have the Roosters and Sharks to end the round. Tonight, we're live for Spain versus Saudi Arabia. We've also got plenty of other games. And be here live tomorrow as New Zealand. They play against Egypt in the Football World Cup. We'll be live for that. I think it's about 3 p.m. your time. So Mitchell Barnett, he'll be 5 metres out from the line, second tackle. Had a good draw against Iran, 2-2. See if you can go and do it against an even better team. Even though they're less ranked, Egypt's a better team. Third tackle now. 2 metres out. They give it out the back to Mitchell Barnett. Barnett's going to straighten. He'll be 2 metres away. Fourth tackle, 40 seconds left here in the first half. And out the back, surely, maybe a fourth. Here's the fourth. Here's the pass the ball. Pompey, if he passed that ball, it was a fourth try for Chance. 25 seconds left. They give it out to Harris Tavita. Across here to Wade Egan, wagging bobbles. Then underneath. Oh! Tamati Martin with the knock on. Tamati Martin with the knock on. Can we get Blocker to pronounce the New Zealand team in the World Cup later on this year? New Zealand names aren't that difficult. Samoan and Tongan will be difficult for him. Samoan, Tongan, Fijian. They'll be difficult for Mr. Blocker. But the New Zealand names aren't that bad. What, you think Dylan Brown, Chance Nickel Clockstad is difficult? You think James Fisher-Harris is a tough one for Blocker? The New Zealand team isn't even that hard to pronounce, my man. But anyway, it's going to be half-time here, and the Warriors, they lead 14 points to 10. Very interesting first half there, where the Warriors dominated that first 20. Fell away for a good 10, and then got back into it for that final 10 of that first half. Obviously, we've seen Chance Nickel Clockstad go bang, bang, bang with 3 tries, and is the one leading here for the... it's just unfortunately the conversions that have been the hurting point for them, with only 1 from 3. And then for the Cowboys, they're Braden Burns and Scott Drinkwater at the tries, and they're 1 from 2 on the conversions. But guys, halftime, thumbs up, subscribe. Let's get into these stats to see how it is all unfolding. Keep chatting away in the chat. Let me know your thoughts. Now, possession-wise, wowee. Possession-wise, we have Warriors here at 65% possession. Cowboys at 35% possession. Now at 63-37. Warriors, that stat of being 63-37 is going to worry you, because I'm about to tell you that this was the stats the Panthers had against the Titans yesterday. You're about to have totals that are going to make you feel so amazing. But that's also because you've had a lot more of the possession here. This is concerning. This isn't positive. 63% possession to 37% possession to you. I promise you that possession count will equal out. It will come out to maybe, by the end of this game, like 56, 57% to the Warriors and, 43, 44% for the Cowboys, right? that means that they're going to get another good chunk of the ball here, and they're only down by 4 points right now. So whilst the possession is very healthy in your favour, it's scary because you're only up by 4. Now, the time of possession is 16 minutes and 48 seconds here for the Warriors. We're looking for a 25-minute threshold from both teams here, right? So 16 minutes and 48 seconds is very healthy here for the Warriors. The Cowboys have not even had 10 minutes. They're at 9 minutes and 45 seconds. So we are going to see past the 26-minute mark. So we'll get past the 25-minute threshold. But wowee, they've had over 8 minutes more with the ball here, the Warriors. Now, the completion rate. Both teams are looking for 80% here. 80% is what you need to be getting. 82% for the Warriors at 19 from 23. You're very happy with that. And for the Cowboys, 82%, 14 from 17. You're also very happy with that. So both these teams are hitting the 80%. They're very, very happy. And they're completing at a solid rate. The runs-wise, 121 runs here for the Warriors for 1,089 run meters. So no matter what, as long as you go past 1,000 run meters, you've had a successful half. So they have had a successful half here, the Warriors, in regards to 1,089 run meters, but technically they are down by 121 run meters on the run total, right? For the 10 meters average per run that you're looking for. Whilst the Cowboys, they're at 65 runs for 622 run meters. So you notice that? So the Warriors have close enough to double the amount of run meters. They're close enough to double the amount of runs, but also the Warriors are 121 run meters behind the 10 meters an average per run, whilst the Cowboys are only 28. So the Cowboys are doing far more with the ball here when they've actually got the ball. The Warriors are doing far less with the ball when they've actually got the ball. But at least they've got the 1,000 meters, and that's still a success regardless. But if the Cowboys had that same equivalent 121 runs, I promise you they'd be at about 1,150 right now, which would be about 60, 70 above you. Just worry. It's good for the Warriors here, but it's also a worry. Post-contact meters, if you ever hit 300, you're good. Warriors 332, you're very, very happy with that. The Cowboys, they're at 162. They're not too happy with that. That's a pretty big gap there. If you gave the extra 56 more runs to the Cowboys, I still don't even know if they get to 300. I think they probably get to about 300. So I think the Warriors would be winning this. I think the Warriors would be winning this post-contact battle by quite a bit. Line breaks 5-3. Defense not on a showing today. Gee whiz, they are allowing a lot of line breaks in this game. 8 line breaks in total across the two teams. 5 for one, 3 for the other. Wow, that's a lot. Tackle breaks 15 to Warriors, 16 to the Cowboys. The defense has actually not been too bad on a tackling rate. It's just they're allowing the line breaks so easily. Now, the average set distance, 25 meters and below is pathetic. 25 to 30 is disgusting. 30 to 35 is underwhelming. 35 to 40 is hitting the marker. 40 to 45 is great. 45 to 50 is fantastic. And 50 plus is basically perfect. 47.37 here for the Warriors is fantastic. They are making a lot of meters per set. They're not making many errors, and they're making quite a lot of meters. 47.37 is really good. That's ultimately coming to the 5 line breaks, though. The 5 line breaks is what's really blowing this game away for them, but 47.37 is fantastic. To the 36.61 here for the Cowboys, which is in the doing the job category. They're just moving, they're just grooving, they're just doing what they need to do as we speak, and they are 11 meters behind where the Warriors are currently situated. And then you go to the average play the ball speed. 3.19 and below is extremely fast. 3.2 to 3.39 is fast. 3.4 to 3.59 is average. 3.6 to 3.79 is slow. And 3.8 and above is extremely slow. 3.61 seconds here for the Warriors is slow. It is in the slow category. And 3.48 seconds for the Cowboys is in the normal category. So it's not a speedy ruck speed here for either of these teams, but especially not for the Warriors from the slow. Offloads, though, Warriors very healthy. 11 is huge. That's a lot of offloads. 4 for the Cowboys is quite low. Then we go down to keep the fusel. 50% here for the Warriors, 25% here for the Cowboys. 40-20 is 1-0 Cowboys. Effective tackle percentage. Wow, this is not good here from the Warriors. So effective tackle percentage, they haven't had to make a fantastic amount of tackles, obviously, right? So 85% and below is awful. 85% to 88% is underwhelming. 88% to 90% is hitting the marker. And 90% and above is basically perfect. The Warriors are at 85.62%. So they're in the low range of underwhelming. The low range of underwhelming. 131 tackles made is well below the typical range of 160 to 180. They're not making many tackles here, but they've got an average amount of missed tackles of 16, which is in the middle of 15 to 17. You've got an average amount of missed tackles on a low tackle count, and then the ineffective tackles is 6, right in the middle of 5 to 7 average for ineffective tackles. They've got 22 bad tackles with only 131 tackles made. So that's not good. So they unfortunately are missing way too many tackles here, considering, this is to put the point in, so the Cowboys have made 209 tackles. The Warriors have made 131. So the Cowboys have made 78 more tackles in this game. 78 more tackles. The Warriors have 1 more missed tackle than them. The Warriors have 16 missed tackles to the Cowboys with 15. You know, that is absolutely insane. That is a significant gap. So the Warriors right now defensively, they're making too many missed tackles considering that they haven't had to defend too much. Now, the effective tackle percentage for the Cowboys is also in the underwhelming, but they are 2% above them. They're at 87.82%, getting close enough to the doing the job category. 209 tackles made is huge. That is above the typical range of 160 to 180 by 29. That is a massive amount of tackles made. Missed tackles is 15, so on the average of 15 to 17, again, lower than the Warriors. And then the ineffective tackles is a whopping 14, so that's very high. 5 to 7 is the average. They're doubling that for the ineffective tackles. So that's 29 bad tackles in the first half from them compared to 22 bad tackles from the Warriors. But it's 78 tackles that separate them between on the tackles made to show how many more tackles the Cowboys are having to complete here, which is why they're above them on the effective tackle percentage. And then you go to the errors. 3 and below is really good, 4 to 6 is average, and 7 above is awful. 6 errors for the Warriors is quite high, but it's on the average, and 4 errors for the Cowboys is quite low, but it's on the average. So the Warriors that the errors is what's probably hurting them the most in regards to the Cowboys getting through here. The one that allowed for the 40-20. And the intercept, ultimately is what really has changed this game. You go to the penalties conceded, and it's got 5 for the Cowboys, 1 here for the Warriors. That's very high from the Cowboys. Ruck infringements, 3-1 against the Cowboys on reports is 1-0. All those have been legit, though, because the Cowboys were ill-disciplined. Long story short, Warriors, you are in a very, very, very scary position right now, where you have had a lot of ball, you have had a lot of possession, you have had a lot of chances, and you're only up by 4 right now. So you need this to stay the same. You need it to stay the same for you to not go down here, because now it's 67% possession the Warriors just had. 67% possession is what the Warriors just had. Bruno says Zane Harrison might be better than Thurston. Zane Harrison's better than Cameron Smith, Darren Lockyer, Cooper Cronk, Jonathan Thurston, and Andrew Johns combined. So to put it into a thought process here for others, it's like you're going to bet on a horse race, right? And you've got the leader. Your bet is on the horse that is leading, and you've got about maybe 300 to go, and you're leading by a good couple of lengths. Well, there's a term that we use called vulnerable, right? So that horse is vulnerable to the chasers. That means it's gone harder earlier to set up that gap, and then hopefully it just takes the lead and just keeps on going with it. But a lot of the time, you'll see that there will be another horse that will just start just chugging down out wide. It's just come around the bend. It was sitting in last the whole time, and it will just take over you, and you're vulnerable up front. Right now, the Warriors are vulnerable. So this is going to be a scary watch this next 10 minutes, and definitely for the next 40, because you haven't won this game yet by any means. You have not won this game by any means right now. Daniel says, where are the Cowboys on the table? Well, Warriors and Cowboys are literally on your screen right now. If you look over here, the table is right next to us. You need to have a much better second half here, Warriors. I'm going to go get a tissue, guys. I need a tissue here. I can feel... I've done a lot of streaming, so I feel that my body is obviously super tired, and I'm going to get a good sleep after this. And I had a good sleep last night, but I've done a lot of streaming lately, so I guess my body's feeling it. I'm just going to go grab a tissue. I'll be back in just a few moments. Yes, Taulagi is playing. We are back and waiting for the second half to get back underway. Yes, Clint, Taulagi is playing, but the Cowboys have had no ball. So that would be why you probably don't know that he's playing, because he's had no chances really in this game. And when they have scored, they've gone down the right wing where Braden Burns scored, and also Scott Drinkwater brought one, but he just hasn't had any ball yet so far. Jess says, good morning. Yeah, well, it's afternoon for us over here, or for me anyway, it's 12 o'clock. It's literally just gotten to 12:02. For the Aussies, it'd be about 3, but I know for you, it's early in the morning, 6 a.m. right now. Big day rugby league ahead. User says, with the possession, it's give and take. I'll rather have 63% than 33%. Means Cowboys made more tackles, and with Warriors, power runners will definitely take it out of Cow's power bank. So that's one way to look at it, and it's not a wrong way to look at it. However, there is another way to look at it, and to say you didn't do enough with that possession in the first half, and you didn't do enough with all of that. And whilst the Cowboys could get tired, they could also have really good fitness. You know, look at the Panthers, for example. Like if we wouldn't ever see this, but if they ever had that in the first half, which, because they're usually a first half team, they're out in for the second half here, getting ready to go. But if hypothetically the Panthers were like that, they have the stamina and the endurance, and they are strong enough to be able to punch through that final 40 as well. So again, I had tipped the Warriors pre-game, and I'm tipping the Warriors to win this game, and I could easily still see this being 13 plus, and I could easily see this going down to the wire. But it's a very vulnerable position here for the Warriors, where they had all the ball, they had everything go their way in the first half, and they didn't really do enough with it to set the gap as much as those stats really reflect there. You've had double the runs, you've had double the run meters. Second half of Saturday, guys, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe. You've had double pretty much everything. But yet, when you've had limited time on your own line with 33% possession for the Cowboys, they've scored twice. So they've pretty much scored both times they've been down your end. So as long as you keep the ball, of course, you're going to win this game. But if they get down your end, right now, they're just scoring at free will. Like, they're just scoring immediately. 4 tackle now for the Cowboys at the 50. So, whilst what you said is correct, and I'm sure you would rather be in that position, and you'd rather be leading 14 points to 10 for sure, there is definitely another perspective to look at it and go, well, Warriors weren't good. Not that they weren't good enough, but they didn't do enough in the first half to really set the gap. Jim Mar says, what's an ad, Tiger? YouTube Premium over here. What's an ad, Tiger? Oh, okay. Tiger says, is anyone else getting ads every 15 minutes, or is YouTube messing with me? YouTube's probably slapping you down. That's why YouTube Premium is good, especially when you're watching my streams. I'm not telling anybody what to do. Daniel says, let's now go to the right side. 1 second here. It's going to be Leah Tower, and Leah Tower is going to get this ball to the 20 on third tackle. So that's why with my streams, because you don't want to miss a try, you don't want to miss conversations and whatnot, having YouTube Premium is ultimately the best one for here. Obviously, it still supports this channel, it still supports what I do, but it also it gives you free uninterrupted access without the ads that YouTube just pumps along. Because I don't click any ads, it just does it itself there on YouTube. And sometimes it just comes in at the worst times, but you guys do what you need to do. Gamer says, sorry if you've already answered this, I might have missed it, but who are you backing with this game? I tipped the Warriors pre-game. Dearden's been injured for weeks, like for over a month now, Master Yoda. Great game last night. Titans defense was too strong, Blake says. Look, it was. I was really proud of that defense, man. Really proud of it. But the main thing as well that I'm looking at is Zane Harrison had a coming out game. That was one of those games from a young halfback that he's only been playing for about a month now, and it was one of those games or just over a month now, and it was just one of those games that he was able to really assert dominance in. Really, so Cowboys on the left-hand side. They're away here. They're at the 20. It's fifth tackle on the Warriors side of the field. Every time they get down here, they've really been able to score, so this is worrying. Warriors on the back foot, but the Cowboys put it up into a good area. Cowboys catch it and don't offload the ball, so it's going to be Warriors ball at 10. Jim Martin, it always takes me a bit to get to the game and beak out the exact spot, so it's definitely needed, otherwise it gets messed up. Oh, that's also a good point, because if you have ads, then you have to try and link it up again, don't you? Yeah. Have to link it up. Second, it's starting to get cloudy. Yeah, I thought as much, Matty Arsenal. I thought as much. Had Daniel Bate try and tell us it was sunny before. There is going to be a knock on here for the Cowboys. There'll be a fresh set at the 30. Goes over the sideline, but it'll be a fresh set here for the Warriors at their own 30. But you try and tell me it's sunny in England. You wish. Gee whiz. Get a grip. tell me it's sunny in England. Daniel Bate, he's drunk, the guy. He's drunk. 6 a.m. in England, he's this drunk. Unbelievable stuff. But it is a Sunday, so I forgive it. First tackle down for the Waz. And it's Murata Niakure. Rolls it back, and they go out to Lieutenant Stowers Smith, who will be at the 45 on their own side of the field. They go to the right-hand side to Muddy Martin. Hold on, what was that breaking news? Dallin is about to sign an extension. He's going to extend his time with the Warriors. 6 again here with the Warriors. So Dallin is apparently about to sign an extension with Warriors. Taylor Becky gets away here. And they'll be at the 33. So Dallin's about to re-sign with the Warriors. So what are they doing wing-wise next year? They'll have Will Warbrick, they'll have Daniel Martinez-Lesniak, and they will also have Alofiana Khan-Pereira. You need to fit 3 into 2. And I don't think Will Warbrick has done enough to show that he's over the likes of Loffy or Dallin right now. So I don't understand the signing of Will Warbrick, really, because he's not going to want to sign to be a depth winger. He's not. Left-hand side here for the Waz. 4 tackle, 2 meters out for the line. Mitchell Barnett. If Daniel Martinez-Lesniak is extending, then why the hell did they sign Grant Anderson and Will? Exactly right. Out of the left, that's going to go backwards here from Tamani Martin. Chanel Harris to Vida. Harris to Vida. Oh, he can't get there. We fit tackle, half a meter short of the line. Why are we... No, we're not looking at this. It's not a try. It's obviously not a try. It's obviously short, bro. Why are we looking at this, Grant Atkins? You are dreaming, Daniel. AI. Contact's been cleared. Yeah, but obviously this ball doesn't go down. It's nowhere close to going down, bro. Why are we even looking at this? Why are we even looking at this? Yeah, one, you're never going to get an angle, but also 2, it's not down. Like, why do we even look at this, Grant Atkins? And he's about a metre short. So no try, last tackle, half a metre short. What was the point there, Grant Atkins? Warriors left-hand side, short side, will run it to the 2. And it'll be Cowboys ball here. Well, that was odd, but sure. Wait, why is this... Why Cowboys get the ball out of 10? They must have said it was a knock-on even the Warriors. I don't know. Wigan should have won by 100 last night. They were up by 60 at the 50th minute. Jeez, who are they playing? Buddy Salford, Daz? I know, he's a Salford fan. That's going to be a penalty to the Cowboys here. Penalty to the Cowboys. With 35 minutes left here of the game. Again, I've been very happy with Chance on the wing attacking-wise, but just not defensively. Oh, Cameron Munster's 250th for Melbourne as well next game. Yeah, they're not losing that one. With their form and momentum they're getting right now, they're not losing this one. York, didn't York beat the champions in their first game this year? It was Hull. I think they beat Hull KR, and then they went on to beat the Broncos. The Broncos are so shit. 14 degrees here and raining all day in England. Yep, that's what I thought, Daniel. That is what I thought. I thought as much. Third tackle now for Jason Tamalolo, and he'll be 35 metres away from the Warriors line. Yeah, Hull KR. Are they good this year or what? Or are they as bad as the Broncos have been? That's going to be Jake Clifford out the drink water. Gets it across to Tom Chester. Haven't seen Chester do anything today. Haven't seen him really have any of the ball. They've not had any ball. No, not the ref of the bunker show again. Not the ref of the bunker show. It's not been too bad. It's just that Grant Atkins just ridiculously looked at a call there that was very obvious that it was short of the line and not a try. Goes up, and why are they letting that ball bounce? Oh my gosh, I think that's a knock-on from the Cowboys. I think Murray Talangi has knocked this ball on. They're going to check this, fair enough, only to see who knocks this ball on. Yeah, knock on off Murray Talangi. He's grabbing at his shoulder too, God bless him. York beat Hull KR in their first div game in 40 years, yeah. I don't know why teams are so emphatic on letting balls bounce nowadays. So we let go there, and then it's going to be bouncing around the 10. Brandon 10's a great win by the Titans. They're the greatest team of all time, mate. Okay, but even if Leotau touches this, it's knocked backwards. So, like, what's your point? No matter what, that goes backwards. There's no knock-on there from Leotau, but that's not what we were looking at. And also, mind you, it went backwards regardless, so it doesn't make any sense why you need to look at that so heavily. But now the Cowboys coming through. Talangi. Surely it's a knock-on Talangi. Yeah, it is. Knock-on by Murray Talangi. Why do we have to see if there was a knock-on from the Warriors on the kick when it was backwards by about 100 years? Japan 2-0. Japan's a good team, bro. They're my surprise packet of the tournament. For some reason, the English League has crazy scores. Like a month ago, London Broncos beat the Crusaders 134-0. Yeah, it's because, and the English fans don't usually like to hear this. It's because overall, it's not as professional a competition across the board. It's not that professional of a competition across the board. It's professional at the top, but it's not professional across the board. And they go to the right. Dallon's away here. Dallon's away here. Dallon's away here. The 30, the 25, the 20. Four tackle. He's been grabbed by the hair there. That should be a penalty. He was grabbed by the hair just then. Tamani Martin goes out to Tanastawa Smith. Who's the cat that just hair pulled? 10 metres away from the line. 65-metre gain. They go out to Tamani Martin. Chance Nickel Clockstad for his fourth. You can't take that one away from him. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's Chance Nickel Clockstad at your door. It's a 1, 2, 3, 4. It's Chance Nickel Clockstad at your door. 4 tries for Chance Nickel Clockstad today. And it is 18 points to down with the kick to come. That's why the Sharks are bald. Exactly right, Jossie. They're smart. They're ahead of the game. The Sharks are ahead of the game. That's why they're all ball, because they don't want to get the hair pull. But either way, it's a try time here for Chance Nickel Clockstad. He's got 4 tries today. I don't understand why that wasn't a penalty against Scott Drinkwater for the hair pull, though. Japan doing fantastic with 2 big players out for them. They'll go far, I think. Absolutely. Absolutely. But Chance goes bang. That was a really good set there from the Warriors. Really, really good set. And they will take the lead by 2 scores now. Try and stop him, son. Try and stop the old Waz. You can't stop him right now, baby. You cannot stop him right now. Too easy. Should be a report for the hair pull. There definitely should be a report for the hair pull, because whilst Drinkwater is just trying to make a tackle, at the end of the day, he does grab at his hair. And the hair pull is what also ultimately prevents him from breaking away there, down Martin Selesniak. So 30 minutes to go here in the game, folks. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe if you're new around here. We've got Storm versus Raiders after this, and then we'll also get Roosters versus Sharks, and we'll also get a conversion from the sideline from Adam Pompey. 20 points to 10. The Wars are way too good. Warriors need Daryl Halligan or Matthew Ridge or Grant Fox or Dan Carter to give some place kicking instruction. Hey, listen. Pompey, eat your heart out. He's just going to slap that one in from the sideline. Thought this was going to be high scoring. Well, you've seen 30 points already with 30 minutes to go of the game, man. Like, it is pretty high scoring at the moment. 14 points to 10 at half time is on target for around the 50. But again, like, defensively, I know the Warriors haven't looked great defensively today, but like defensively, the Warriors this year, they've given up 224 points. That's only worse off than the Panthers. They're the second best defensive team in the comp. So you've got the second best defensive team in the comp going up against the 10th best defensive team in the comp in the Cowboys. And then attacking wise, you've got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, Tanastawa Smith, an error after points is so brutal. He's going to challenge this though. So they're behind the Panthers, the Dolphins, the Knights, Manly. They're also behind the Rabbitohs. They are the 6th best attacking team in the comp, the Warriors. And the Cowboys are the 10th. So the 6th best attacking team in the comp versus the 10th best attacking team in the comp versus the 2nd best defensive team in the comp and the 10th. There's no stripping action there. He's just lost that ball. And then the 10th best defensive team in the comp. This will be an unsuccessful challenge here. They'll lose the challenge. That new stadium looks cool. Are they using this more often? Marcel, there's a team coming in here. We're getting the Christchurch team coming into the Christchurch stadium. That'll be the next team that gets added in after Papua New Guinea come in. So we get Perth next year, we get Papua New Guinea the year after, and then either the year after that in 2029 or in 2030, or at least by 2032, they will have the second New Zealand team. Dam says, my daughter is a Titans fan, enjoyed telling me all night last night the Titans are better than the Wars because they did what the Wars couldn't do but the Panthers. Well, it's an interesting point, so I don't want to ruffle too many feathers here. 1 second. Let's go through this set. The Cowboys will be 10 metres out from the line. It's an interesting point because people will always fall back to the Warriors. The Panthers did not have Nathan Cleary, Isaiah, Case McLean, and Brian Toll yesterday, so of course Titans won. Well, Case McLean was the only one who did play out of those four against the Warriors and was actually a big part of that game against the Wars, and they did win 20-18 there. Cowboys will be at the 10. Obviously, the Titans are not better than the Wars, right? But the point is that the result for the Titans is still super impressive because the Panthers' depth is still really good, and that Panthers' depth did beat the Warriors just literally 3 weeks ago. 4 tackle now, 2-3 weeks ago. 4 tackle at the 5. Reed Marnie at the back, and they get the ball offloaded. Drinkwater kicks his ball over the top on 4 tackle, not the play into Muddy Martin. Oh, we got the bum action. He's pulled his pants down. It'll be first tackle with the Warriors, the 4. Beckbacks is wide, I bet against the Wars. I'm not too sure. It didn't really make sense statistically as well. Titans are better than Panthers, better than the Warriors, true top 3. Well, Rage, I don't know what you're talking about. The Warriors aren't even in the top 9, mate. Stop giving them too much credit. Titans 1, Warriors 2. Fair enough. Easy days. Bang, bang, right in front of your face. There you go. Get that one, shove it down the esophagus, and learn that. Titans first. All right, third tackle now at the 20. And Taint Picky brings it out to the 30 on 4 tackle. Pedro Corey says, Cowboys can cause a headache here. Don't write them off yet. Well, yeah, they can. But again, this is the 10th best attack and the 10th best defense. Like, they're not a great team. They are an okay team who know how to do the simple stuff to get the results. But they're not a fantastic team. Like, they're not a scary team. I just don't. They're such a weird team this year. Like, they just do simple stuff. Right, the Warriors should not be losing this game, though. They really just should not be losing this game by any stretch of the imagination. Third tackle now at the 40. Like, you've got the second best attack versus the second best attack and defense going up against the 5th best attack and the 2nd best defense going up against the 10th best attack and the 10th best defense in New Zealand as well. They're leading 20-10. The Cowboys shouldn't be winning this game, but the Warriors also defensively haven't been great so far in this game when the Cowboys have been down on their line. They're here now. Clifford puts the ball over the top. Where's the fullback? Don't know where he is. They will... Oh my gosh, that is an unbelievable try-saving tackle there from Tamati Martin. It's a 7-tackle set coming up here for the Warriors. That's amazing. I don't know how Tamati Martin has held him up there, but he has held him up. Bounce off the post, and wow, Tamati Martin to hold him up there. That is amazing. What a try-saver. That would have been a try under the post. Well, I'm sorry, it goes out to the 10, not to the 20 for 7-tackle set. So the Warriors now. Oh, that's a penalty. That's a dangerous tackle there. That's a dangerous tackle for sure. Yep. 100%. There's a biffo too. Someone throw an uppercut, you cats. Someone throw an uppercut of your cats. Someone throw an uppercut. Someone throw an uppercut, you dogs. A little bit of a biffo, but it will be a penalty. We have penalty coming up here for the Warriors. Did I see 2 Sharkies bald heads on that Warriors player? Hey, listen, we get to see about 20 Sharks bald men later on today. We get to see about 20 Sharks bald players later on today. Tamalolo might be getting binned here. He might be getting binned here. He might be getting binned here. We're waiting to hear what the call is. He's going to get binned. Jason? Yep, he's been called out. It's going to be a bin. Oh, boy. Tracy, that's a prison sentence in the union. Yeah, well, this is going to be a nice little jail time, 10-minute suspension here for Jason Tamalolo. He's off and gone onto the bin. Na. Hey, goodbye. It's a bin for the Cowboys, Jason Tamalolo, and the Warriors. You should be able to take it away from here. They got warned earlier for dangerous contact. JC, I was saying before that I thought that a bin could have come earlier because they were so ill-disciplined in the first 20 minutes of this game. They're giving away penalty after penalty after ill-discipline. Cowboys, they are probably about to get a little bit of a slap up here. If the Warriors are as good as they say they are, they should be able to punch Townsville in the mouth right now. First tackle here at the 45. Flames on Game says, why the day I picked it, Dylan Martinez-Lesniak did everything go on the other side. Please, Waz, feed through the other channel. Bro, if you're a Waz fan, who cares who they pass it to? Like, at the end of the day, like, that's going to be a penalty here to the Warriors. At the end of the day, who gives a shit what side they go? They've scored 4 tries through Charles Newell-Klokstad. Unless, obviously, if you're betting, then I get it. But also, if you're a Warriors fan, you still shouldn't really care. This is why I tell people, don't bet on your own games. Shampoo companies would never sponsor the Sharks. No, it'd be the worst sponsorship of all time. Worst sponsorship of all time. Craig Kennett says CNK best player in the NRL. So, look, Zane Harrison is clearly the best player in the NRL. But Charles Newell-Klokstad would definitely be just behind probably Keanu Kinney. Yes. Yes. So, second tackle, we have the Warriors. They'll be at the 20. I'll be at the 20. And now Marata Niokore will be 10 metres away. Third tackle. They score here, and they're just going to keep on pumping. Right inside, Tane Tuapiki. Tuapiki! Oh, he's 1 metre short of the line here for tackle. Wade Egan. Out the back now. Sure, 6 again here for the Warriors, and they're 10 metres out. Vaimalga. Another handball, by the way. This is bullshit. No, this is deliberate. This is deliberate. You can't tell me that we've seen 2 handballs that have been gone unnoticed in the last 5 minutes. 2 handballs. Wow, Drinkwater really was looking for an intercept there, but Tamani Martin gets away from that. Right inside, Dallin Watani's a Lesniak. Dallin Watani's a Lesniak. Bang! Try time, Dallin Watani's a Lesniak. Dallin Watani's a Lesniak. Dallin Watani's a Lesniak. With a try for the Warriors. 24-10, kick to come. Floodgates have opened, Brenton. Floodgates have opened. That's a dono for ever bet on him. Yeah, look, waiting for the 10%. Waiting for the 10% dono. Trey says, does losing your hairline mean you have to become a Sharkies fan by default? Yes, no, it does. Can't be bald without supporting your fellow eggs. No, if you are bald, then it is kind of a requirement nowadays to support your fellow bald men in Craig Fitzgibbon, Tommy Hazelton, Braden Trindle, Will Kennedy. Shoot whiz. The list continues. The list goes on. I'm sure we'll probably have Ashley Klein refereeing too. You know what I mean? Like, actually, let's go have a look at who is refereeing that Roosters versus Sharks game. Who is refereeing the Roosters versus Sharks game today? It is going to be... it's Ashley Klein! Sharks win, guys. Sharks win. The Sharks will win for sure. That's incredible. Ashley Klein is the referee. Hazelton. And you've got Braden Trindle. That's too funny. Will Candy Crape is given. There's no way Sharks lose now. No way. But a conversion from Adam Pompey. Bald, and even more bald. That is the Cronulla Baldsters for you. 26-10 to the Waz with 24 minutes to go here at the game. Boom, Warriors. Did you get on this game, Jess? Marcel said you got close to the sideline there. Kind of a bald support the ball too much bias there. No, well, that's what's happening. Ashley Klein's the bald man. He's refereeing. Christian says, what a shit fest. This isn't a shit fest. This hasn't been as much of a shit fest as that Bulldogs Manly game was. That Bulldogs Manly game last night was an absolute diabolical shit fest. Oh, Jess, look, I've got to be consistent, Jess. I do. I've got to be consistent. It's going to be a 1 minute up. You're going to get a 1 minute there for saying that Ashley Klein's the best referee. Look, don't hate the player, hate the game. That is definitely a 1 minute timeout. It's not a full fiver. It's just a warning shot there, Ashley Klein. You're unbelievable, Jess. Deary me. Aaron Clark, left-hand side, Wade Egan. And now they're going to be here at the 30. What a disgraceful comment. Razor companies will be dying to sponsor that game. Chekawana says, why are my hands still sweating? Because you've been watching Cops. 4 tackle now at the 40 for the Warriors. Wade Egan goes to the right. Off to Tane Tuapiki. To Money Martin. Tanner Stowers Smith runs it straight up the guts to the 45 on the Cowboys side of the field. We will be getting 10% of that massive multi that you win there, Clint. Is it your responsibility? That is your responsibility. We'll be getting 10% when Martin and Talangi score. So you got Tamati, Martin, Talangi. Well, we'll see. I just don't see the Cowboys being able to get back into this game here unless they do something now. No, trip down at the 25 and the tackle's been made. Yes, Daniel Walter. So Charles has said, did Daniel Walter Zalesnik score? Okay, so the answer here is no. Daniel Walter Zalesnik did not. That's an obstruction. Yep, penalty coming up for the Warriors. Penalty coming up for the Warriors in the 45. Daniel Walter Zalesnik did not score, but Dallin Watani Zalesniak did score. Yeah. Yes. That's definitely an obstruction there. Don't challenge that, Cowboys. That is the most obvious obstruction ever. No, Cowboys. No. You're not challenging this. Oh, this is one of the dumbest challenges of all time. This is one of the dumbest challenges of all time. It's a very clear obstruction. No, you're not challenging this. This is amazing. This is amazing they're challenging this. This is actually incredible. Yeah, Tamati Martin. Yeah, but... Yeah, what... How is that not an obstruction? He's run alongside him, regardless of the fact that Tamati Martin has made the tackle and it's gone into the Cowboys player. The Cowboys, the referees. Oh my gosh, Bunker. Oh my gosh. They're fucking stupid, bro. Like they actually are. They're actually stupid. They're actually stupid, man. How on earth is that not called an obstruction? So because Tamati Martin has made a tackle on a Cowboys player who has then bounced into another Cowboys player who is right there, and then he has bounced into a Warriors player, are we saying that it's now Tamati Martin's fault for making a tackle? That is actually unreal how they've come up with that. How is that possible to have come up with that terminology? I hope the person in the bunker, I don't know who it is right now, I hope they see this. You are a moron. You are a moron in the bunker. It's not going to change the game. You fit tackle on the Cowboys, get it down to the Warriors at the 15. You are a moron, bro. Tane Topic is away here. Tane Topic is away. I'll get that detonation in a second. Tane Topic is away. Tane Topic is away. He's at the 45. He's at the 40. He's at the 35. And it'll be first tackle over the Warriors on the 35. Flames on Games with the $8 donation. Get around your Flames on Games. Says, Donald Lesniak and was up. Everyone sub because Blaze is the best. Get around your Flames on Games. Appreciate you for the support, my man. Second tackle at the 30. They never fail to amaze me. The bunker is actually just astounding that they've made that call just then. How is it how is it not the Cowboys' fault for having a non-playing runner go in? That's going to be a penalty here to the Warriors, 15 metres away. No, they're going to say it's a penalty to the Cowboys. Shut up, Grant Atkins. Shut up, Grant Atkins. This last few moments has been diabolical. It probably is right, but then also why didn't the Titans get that against the Tigers last week? It amazes me that they've said that it's okay for the Cowboys player to be running directly tandem with the ball carrier, and then because Tamati Martin is attempting a tackle on the ball carrier, and then that tackler has been pushed into the player right next to him, who then blocks off of the run of the Warriors. So you're telling me that that was a try if you didn't stop that. That's what they're saying. They're saying that if that was a try, it would have been called as a try. And that is why the bunker is a moron. They are a straight-up moron because they would have called that a try against the Warriors fans. That's what they're saying. But because the ref called it off and stopped the clock, it means they have to come back for the play the ball. But he says Titans tries were awesome. Saw the highlights. Yeah, it was amazing. Trina says the referee is just like Ashley Klein. Don't worry, you'll get to see some specialties from him later on today. 20 minutes to go the game here, folks. Hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're new around here. Check on it says, when they say we complain too much, we show them this. To their credit, people do complain too much. They complain about the wrong things. That's not something to be complaining about as a wrong thing, because again, if the referee had have allowed that to play through, they would have called that as a try. So fit tackle now for the Cowboys, and they're going to be at the 35 on the Warriors side of the field. 19 minutes to go. Well, the bunker let Stags get away with grabbing Cobbo's leg. I guess they blamed Hammer for tackling him near Cobb's leg. Absolutely. And that's going to be a drop ball here from the Warriors. The Cowboys will get a fresh set, 15 metres away from the line. 0 tackle. Quick play, quick play, quick play, quick chance. Sonny Luke. No, he'll be just short of the line, 1 metre out from the line. Benson's awesome grab. Massive crowd there. Again, they're getting a team in Christchurch over the next few years. Well, is what we've been told anyway. Second tackle at the 15. Just before my timeout, you asked if I was on the game. I've taken Warriors 26.5. Oh, you should get that. Yeah, you should get another 0.5 for sure. Wise will score again. There's still that man in the bin here for the Cows, 5 metres away. It was only 1 minute, Jess. It was only a 1 minute timeout. Oh, Tratson, Braden Burns. Beautiful pass from the Cowboys. Drinkwater with a brilliant pass there for the Cowboys, and it will be 26 points to 14 with a kick to come. 26 points to 14 with a kick to come. 18 minutes left. 18 minutes left. Awesome crowd. No, it is a fantastic crowd. All right, well, maybe this is game on here, son. Maybe. Craig Kennett says Ashley Klein, best ref ever. He did the Kiwis World Cup win in 2008 and then got a shove from the Aussie coach, Ricky Stewart, at the airport the next day. So, Craig, appreciate you, man. Thank you for tuning in. We're going to have to see you in 5 minutes, mate. We're going to have to see you in 5 minutes. That is a timeout there, Craig. Craig, that's a timeout for saying that Ashley Klein's the best ref ever. So, look, we're consistent here on this channel. Jess got the warning with the 1 minute. If she did it again, she'd get a 5 minute. You saw the warning. You decided to then say Ashley Klein's the best referee ever. We're going to have to see you in 5 minutes, Craig. Yep. Yeah, we'll see you in 5 minutes. So 17.5 minutes to go here. The game is 26 to 14 of the Warriors after a try to the Cowboys. Brilliant pass from Drinkwater to Braden Burns, and he's in the corner. Logan says, I don't understand why they don't play more games there. It's such a quality stadium with quality facilities, and now we know there's an atmosphere there. Again, there is a NRL team coming into this stadium. An NRL team is coming into the stadium. And he's got the kick for the sideline. 10-point game, 26 points to 16 with 17 minutes to go of the game. Why is there a Cowboys fan shushing everyone right now? You are still losing by 10 points, dude. There's a Cowboys fan who was just on the crowd cam doing this to everybody. It's 26-16 Warriors, butter. Because Mount Smart's the Wise home ground, exactly right. Christchurch is not Auckland. And to be fair, though, they are named the New Zealand Warriors. If you are just an Auckland team, then you should be called the Auckland Warriors, with all due respect. So I get the opposite perspective to that, but I do think of you as Auckland, right? Just a reminder for New Zealand fans as well is that your name won't be the New Zealand Warriors once this New Zealand team comes in. I'm sure you'll either be the North Island Warriors or the New Zealand Warriors, you'll either be the North Island Warriors or the Auckland Warriors. I would assume you would go back to what you used to be in the Auckland Warriors. It used to be Auckland. I would assume that's the case. But you cannot be called the New Zealand Warriors once that new team comes in. So third tackle. Benny West says, behave yourself or else he will time you out for 80 minutes. Yeah, well, you've seen that before, haven't you, Benny? Fourth tackle here at the 50. Trey says he's shushing the cow. Bunker is going crazy right now. I just don't know who he's shushing because they're down by 10. But 16 minutes to go. Still a chance here. Again, Cowboys, you have to play the Panthers next week after they've coming off a loss, and they'll have their full-strength team back. So good luck. Drinkwater. Oh, he's offloaded the ball. That's going to be a knock-on, surely. No, they're going to play this on here. It's fifth tackle, and that's going to go over the sideline. That's going to be Warriors ball at a 10. Can they challenge that? Yeah, they can. They can challenge this. Auckland Warriors sounds way better than the North Island Warriors. Hey, listen, I'm just giving options there, man. I'm pretty certain they'll go back to what they used to be, the Auckland Warriors. So they're going to challenge this here, the Cowboys. They're going to say there was a player taken out without the ball here. Yeah, he's definitely going to... It's 100% a penalty. 100% it's a penalty against Leotau there. You could make the argument it's a professional foul, but it's not a bin. You can make the argument, though. The fullback end is there, so that's why they're not going to get a bin. But like, you could have made the argument for it. Yeah, if Tane wasn't there, that would have been sin bin, because I could make the argument that it still should have been sin bin. But with that being said, Tane was there, so that's why you can't do it. All right. So the Cowboys now are at the 20 on first tackle, down by 10. Warriors, this is not over and done with yet. First tackle, Griffin Neem. Sonny Luke to Jason Tamalolo, and Tamalolo is going to be 10 metres away from the line. Second tackle, Southern Orcas. I'm pretty certain Wellington were the ones who wanted to call themselves the Orcas. I think it's the Kias, or is that the Wellington Kias, or Christchurch Kias? Shit, I can't remember. I don't know what Christchurch would call themselves. Short ball. Oh, he's lost the ball. And the Warriors charging all clock start, gets off the Taint to a picky. And Taint's away. Taken down to the 30 on first tackle. Or zero tackle. Clint says the Warriors have changed their name to the Aotearoa Natives next season, I hear. The Aotearoa Natives. So they're just going to throw away the Warriors name, you reckon? Second tackle now for the Warriors, and they'll be at the 50. Two New Zealand teams got helpers for those games. Dude, it'll be mental when we can develop that rivalry between, Auckland and oh, they've lost the ball here. They've lost the ball. Auckland and Christchurch games are going to go off. I know you guys technically have a North Island versus South Island rugby union matchup, but I'm telling you, this would be just nutso between the two. They go to the right-hand side. Is that big over there? Like, is it nationally huge in New Zealand, that North Island versus South Island rugby union match? I know it used to be massive. Is it still that massive? You guys obviously would know more than me in regards to that. Third tackle now for the Cowboys. They're going to be 20 metres out. Fourth tackle, 14 minutes to go here in the game. Technically, the team's official name right now is just Warriors. One New Zealand have some naming rights thing, just like Vodafone used to have what Vodafone used to have. No, you're technically the New Zealand Warriors, but one New Zealand just aligns with it, but you are still technically the New Zealand Warriors. No. Technically, they are New Zealand Warriors, my man. See, they're not like the Dolphins with the Dolphins, because technically the Dolphins are the Dolphins. Not that I care, because I call them the Redcliffe Dolphins. Third tackle now at the 23, and it'll be 13 minutes to go here. Still big game, North versus South, yeah. Does everyone watch it? Is it like your Origin? Does everyone in New Zealand watch that game? Wade Egan, good run here to the 40 on fifth tackle. No, not massive anymore. Last time was AB's trial in South Island 1. Because the men of the cold South are considered very hardened individuals. They're going to slip over here, the Cows. And it'll go out around the 25. Cowboys ball, 13 minutes to go. There was a chance of 40-20 there if the bounce had gone right. Like it says, they are in New Zealand. They are the New Zealand Warriors. You know, they are. I don't know what he's talking about, because yes, there's the one New Zealand, but they are technically the New Zealand Warriors. I don't know what he's talking about. Padariki says Auckland Warriors. Once the new team comes in New Zealand, they'll be the Auckland Warriors back. Knock on. No penalty against Aaron Clark. Brutal. Penalty against Aaron Clark. So it allows the Cowboys to go back onto the attack here. Did Tom Chester come off? I'm not sure, but Jackson Ford, update. Uncertain how serious it is, but it seems to be a pectoral injury is what they're saying with Jackson Ford. God bless him. Technically, Dragons are Saints, not Steelers. No, technically you are incorrect. Technically, you are incorrect. Technically, it is a merger. You are both. Second tackle here at the 30. Over here, it's NZ Warriors. Yeah. Yeah, no. Oh, that's a lost ball. Yeah, you're not getting away from that one. Tamalolo loses the ball, and the Warriors will get this one. They'll get this ball back. Carlos says, Union is trash, Commander League. I'm not here for the rivalry, man. That can be your opinion. That's fine. I love all different sports. There's my boy, the Joker. I love all sports. I don't buy into the NRL AFL rivalry. I don't buy into the Rugby League, Rugby Union rivalry. I give my opinion based off of the sizes of the lot and whether I think a sport is regressing or, I could easily defend AFL, I could easily defend NRL, I could easily defend Rugby Union kind of deal. But with Rugby Union, it's a more difficult one to defend because it's more so you have to use the international game to defend it because a Super Rugby is not defendable. You cannot defend it. It's not possible. It's not possible to defend the Super Rugby. I personally prefer Rugby League more than Rugby Union, but that doesn't mean that I think Rugby Union is ass. I still like Rugby Union. Second tackle at the 42, but everyone's entitled to their opinion. Auckland Warriors and Southland Stags will be good names. Yeah, look, I don't know about that one. Southland Stags doesn't really get anything going anywhere. Emmanuel, but we 4 tackle now for the Warriors. They're going to be 38 metres away here from the line. 10 minutes to go here of the game. Hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're new around here. The Warriors, they're looking to stay in second position, and thanks to the Titans win yesterday, will be only 2 wins short of the Panthers. To Muddy Martin, he'll put that ball up. The chase through from Tate Picky coming through. It's a good chase. He's knocked the ball on. Adam Pompey's try. No, try. Try time of Adam Pompey for the Waz. And that should be the game there, folks. Try time of Adam Pompey and the Waz. And that should be the damn well game for the New Zealand Waz. Bing bong. Bing bong, 30-16 with the kick to come. The ball's going to get knocked on from the Cowboys and they will score. Just as Rugby Union brings bigger crowds in the UK. Probably. Yeah, probably. But I promise you, if Peter V'landys and the NRL bought the Super League like they're planning to, I promise you they will promote and they will really destroy. They will destroy in a good way over there in England, and they'll grow that game massively. They'll grow that game massively beyond comprehension for what you thought could have been possible in England. Guarantee it. It just comes down to if Tane touches this ball first here. The bunker will be able to get a better angle of it. The bunker will have a good angle. 10 minutes to go here, guys. Hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're new around here. In 20 minutes' time, we'll be live for the Melbourne Storm versus the Canberra Raiders game. I don't know. I don't think he touched it. I think this is just a knock-on drink water. The rest of New Zealand is on the bandwagon. When they were not winning, they did not want to know the team. Now they all want to host games, Andrew says. So, Andrew, I will agree with you here. A lot of people will get offended by this or upset by this. I don't really care. You understand the intention. That's a knock-on here from Tate Piggy. That should be a knock-on. The point is that there are a lot of really true, passionate Warriors fans. That is a fact. There is a lot of true, passionate Warriors fans. And times like this will build even more of them. But when they were not going well, the South Island and a lot of people outside of Auckland would call them the Auckland Warriors, not the New Zealand Warriors, because they wanted to disassociate with the fact that they were always struggling. Now, when they're going well, they're happy to call them New Zealand Warriors. We want to play that. We want to have them in Hamilton. We want to have them in Christchurch. We want to have them here, there, and everywhere. We're still try confirmed, by the way. Try confirmed. So, like, if you, and this is the thing, try confirm 30-16. It's about to be 32-16 here for the Warriors. I'm surprised. I thought that was touched by Picky, but whatever. If only you as an individual will know if you have been supporting throughout the hard times, right? But that means that if you know in yourself that you've supported through the hard times, then I'm not talking to you saying that. But if you know yourself that you weren't there in the hard times and you weren't actually watching every single game and you weren't there every single game, then yeah, I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you. Same thing goes to the Titans. I'll say the same thing about Titans fans when we become successful one day. Same thing. Manuel says, been a Wise fan since the 90s. But see, that's the thing. There's no point now just saying like, oh yeah, done this since then. That's fine. That's great. I have to ultimately just trust it, right? Like, because that's all that I'm going to... it doesn't really matter to me. It's not about now proving yourself. Only you can prove it to yourself. Only you know in yourself. Because you can say that I've been a Warriors fan since before the birth of buddy Noah's Ark, you know, but only you'll know that. Cowboys knock this ball backwards here, and the Cowboys will get the short kick off. Jess with the £5 donation. Get on your Jess. It's a great stream as always, Blaze. Keep up the great work. Remember to look after yourself with all these streams. Yeah, no, I'm definitely tired, but I'm rocking and rolling. We love what we do. We've got Storm Raiders and Rooster Sharks right after this. Oh, Griffin Neem with the knock on. But thank you very much for the donation, Jess, and that £5 donation, that'll go straight to maybe a brewski tonight. Oh, maybe a brewski before I stream later on for the Spain versus Saudi Arabia game. I've got mates who were making fun of me supporting the Waz all these years, and now all of a sudden they got Waz pajamas. Dude, I had that with Man City a lot of times. Paruki says, true fan since 95, Dean Bell days. Yeah, I trust that. Yeah, it's definitely a knock on here. I don't even know why they're looking at that. But it's not about me trusting it. Who ultimately gives a shit what I think? And who ultimately gives a shit what anybody thinks? I knew it. Carlos says, most Waz fans support another league team as well as the Waz. Most Waz fans support another league team as well as the Waz. Yeah, you're right. But they are supportive of the Warriors when they're successful, and then they'll go back to their Melbourne Storms, and they'll go back to their Brisbane Broncos, and also the Penrith Panthers and all that stuff. Warriors ball now at the 50 on first tackle. Craig says, yes, but Christchurch had to wait till the Warriors started winning to get a shot at it. The main complaint against it is that the Warriors haven't won a comp, so why give New Zealand another team? Yeah, but sure. But then the same argument can be made with, like, okay, so Melbourne's won so many premierships. Why would we they've won a premiership, but why would we give them another team? It wouldn't make any sense to me. New Zealand are an entire country. And also, why does another team have to suffer because of the lack of success of one other team? That doesn't make any sense to me. Okay, but now you're going to get more ability for grassroots and more ability for growth of the game of rugby league in New Zealand across an entire country, rather than just fortifying it up there in the north. Go down to the south and take over the entire country with rugby league. That's going to be charged down. This will be a 6 again for the Warriors. Get it? And it's a 6 again for the Wires. 28 minutes away here from the line. I'm not saying you're saying that. I'm just saying it doesn't make sense to me, that argument. Christchurch or Wellington or wherever should not have to suffer and not have a team just because Auckland have struggled themselves individually. It shouldn't be mutually exclusive. Jonathan says, well, brother, hard time right here. Get around you. Cleanses up the Wires and the Bulldogs. You know, and that argument goes to say, okay, so Broncos have won a premiership, but the Dolphins and the Titans both haven't won premiership. 6 again here with the Warriors. Take to a piggy. Take to a piggy. Try to the Wires. 36-6. Take to a piggy. 32-16, turns into 36-16. The Wires are going to slap him today. They're going to slap him with the back end, and they're going to slap him with the forehand, and they're going to slap him again with the back end, and they're going to give him an uppercut. 36-16, taken to a picky. Japan 4-0. Bing bong, bing bong, bing bong. Beautiful. The Wires are going to get a win. They're going to stay in second. Our favourite saying as Warriors fans, maybe next year. Yeah, we have merchandise for that. Yeah, if you go into my description, you see the Warriors merchandise. There is merchandise for maybe next year. there is. That's the Warriors merch. The bunnies. Yeah, I changed it back what I said earlier. Yeah, thanks, Sherlock Holmes. Duncan says, unlike Wars fans having a second team they support, when PNG Chiefs enter the comp, PNG people are probably still going to support their current NRL teams. So I asked this to people. We have a lot of Papua New Guineans on the channel, and I asked the Papua New Guineans when they come here. We have quite a few who are an Eels fan. We have quite a few who are Titans fans, Broncos fans, Cowboys fans. They're kind of the lot. I don't ever typically see Papua New Guinea fans getting around the Warriors, but they're typically like Cowboys, Titans, Broncos, Eels, randomly enough. Those kind of teams, or Storm back in the day, but they went off the Storm when Justin Olam was there. But they will typically support them. I keep asking them. I will say to you that they will get behind Papua New Guinea. They just will. For now, they might try and stay strong with their team for like a year or maybe two afterwards. They'll always have a soft spot for that team, but I promise you, the PR that Michael Chamas is currently getting for Papua New Guinea, the players they're bringing in, the talk of the town, the fact that they are a new country coming in, not in a new state, not a new city, not a new area, a whole new country coming in who are more passionate about rugby league than Kiwis. They're more passionate about rugby league than Australians. They're more passionate about rugby league than anybody. It is a religion in Papua New Guinea rugby league. They murder people over state of origin. Seriously, that's what happens there. That's how obsessed they are with rugby league. I'm telling you, they will, as soon as Papua New Guinea are starting to come in, they will realise that they want to jump on their team. Now, the only thing that will stop that is if they suck. If they suck really, really bad, but I promise you the NRL will force them to be highly competitive for the first couple of years. They will get majority of the calls. 1,000,000%. 1,000,000,000,000,000%. Papua New Guinea will get fed all the positive calls throughout the first couple of years. They can't have them come in and come last. Everyone's going to tip them for last. They're going to say, I'm not good enough. Blah, blah, blah. Everyone will tip them for last. I promise you, they might even make the 8 first year. You watch. You might see it, because they can't have that fail. They can't have Papua New Guinea fail. They need the money to come in from the financial revenue for memberships and ticket sales and merchandise from people that aren't necessarily some massively wealthy country on the kind of social level, but there is a lot of wealthy people in Papua New Guinea. They need that team to be successful. I promise you that if they're successful, everyone in Papua New Guinea will get around them. $8 donation here from Olivia. Get around you. It's a 6-pack incoming. Mountain Conquered. Fire up, you cat. Fire up, Olivia. $8 donation. Love it. Get that 6-pack rolling in. Get it rolling in. So they'll go to the left-hand side here. And Murray Taulagi now to the 30 on 4 minutes to go. Luai's not that good. I would agree with you, Taj Morton, but at the end of the day, PC, PR, public relations, and the public response, and the hype. You've got Josh Curran and Toby Sexton signing for the Perth Bears. You've got Connor Watson, Jerome Luai, and also Alex Johnson signing for the Papua New Guinea team. Michael Chammas does not give a shit in regards to how quality they actually play in a couple of years' time. What Michael Chammas is doing, he's trying to get great PR for them now, and then they can build, and then they can even get bigger players later. Jeremiah Nene right through the line to the 20, the 15, the 10, the 5, back on the inside, and Nene will score. I got one of my try scorers. I got a couple today, Dallin and also Nene. But I've tried for the Cowboys, and it'll be 38 points to 20 with a kit to come. 3 minutes to go here. He doesn't actually give a shit about that. He cares about you and me and everyone talking about it right now, and then they can get some big-time players later on when they're seeing that these players have already come. Papua New Guinea's already the destination compared to going over to Perth Bears. Nobody gives a shit about Perth right now. They're coming in next year. Nobody's talking about Perth coming in less than 1 year time. 1 second. Tiger Hood with the $2 donation says, hit a small multi. Great, as always, up there, up the wires. Get around your Tiger Hood. Appreciate you for the dono. Nobody is talking about Perth. Nobody gives a shit about Perth right now. Everyone's talking about Papua New Guinea, Papua New Guinea, Papua New Guinea, and that's what Michael Chammas is doing, and that's why they are going to be delivered as a success. And then people will support them in Papua New Guinea. The NRL will lose so much bank if the PNG fail early. Exactly right, Lagan. It won't be allowed. 3 minutes and 10 seconds to go here to game. Luke says, Noah's Ark was made, not born. Get your facts straight. Listen here, champion. Listen here. Were you there? Were you there to know that Noah's Ark was made and not born? Luke, were you there at the day as the dog was walking on the damn well boat? Were you there as the pigeon was flying in? I don't think you were there when the sloth was slowly making its way on, and I'm telling you, Noah was frustrated. He was very angry. The sloth wasn't coming on quick enough. Were you there? You weren't, Luke. So how do you know that it wasn't born and it was made? And while you're at it, was it the chicken? Was it the egg that came first, or bloody? What happened? And while we're here, who also milked a cow first? What were you doing? This is what path you've set us down here, Luke. Final conclusion, good game. Why's been the better team, clearly. 2:46 to go here. How long does Brisbane have Magic Round locked in for? I think for another 5 years, man. Brisbane will always get Magic Round. Brisbane should always get Magic Round. Sydney should always get the grand final. I'd give the Nines to New Zealand, or whatever we can do for New Zealand, or they'll get some Origin games every now and then again kind of deal. I think what we have is good. I don't think Magic Round should be taken around around everywhere. Cowboys at the 50 on fit tackle. Dasmate says, it makes me smile because Perth have the shits because they aren't being given a damn about. Who gives a shit about Perth? They're a middle child. Oh, that's going to be a knock on here from the Waz. And the Cowboys get the ball at 20. No, knock on for the Cowboys. It'll be Waz ball at 20. Carlos says it'll be the same for the Christchurch team. They won't make the top 8 in the first 2, maybe 3 years, but the positive calls on their side. Yeah, maybe, but you're talking about, I feel like there will be Christchurch people who fully invest behind the Christchurch team. Whilst for Papua New Guinea, they are fully invested behind their NRL team, and it will... And they are very much... The thing is with Papua New Guinea too is that if you watch their international games, their fans don't actually typically turn up until about the 60th minute, right? So I think they may be allowed to get in free entry after the 60th, which is what happened. It used to happen at Belmore. But at Port Moresby Stadium, they don't actually typically turn up until about 50 to 60 minutes in. Fun fact. So it's showing you that they really need to see success before they invest. And Mate Danger says, I've got Storm to win the first half by 4. Mosley for a try. Melbourne to win. What do you think? I think Storm win. 4 tackle, especially in Munster's 250th. Underneath. Take Torpiggy. Taken down at the 40. Fit tackle. 1 minute to go here to game. 5 minutes time. Storm versus Raiders. And then after that, we've got Sharks versus the Roosters. They whack this ball down to the left, and the Cowboys get this ball at 20. Well, guys. Oh, it's a knock on from the Cowboys too. Oh, no, it's a penalty. 43 seconds to go here. We're on our way to 50k. We went past 43k this weekend. 7,000 more to go, and we're at 50k, son. So if you haven't subscribed yet, slap it in. Maybe the preseason can be played in New Zealand, I guess. The whole preseason? The whole preseason. Magic round in India. Well, the AFL's already trying to take over India. AFL going to Mumbai is just hilarious. Is it Mumbai they're going? Oh, yeah, the Bulls versus the Roosters. Yeah, the Bullmen. 10 seconds left to go of the game here. The Wards are going to get a big old win. Big old win here in Christchurch. 2 seconds left. Cowboys to the right. Take Clifford. Lukey underneath. And knock on from the Cowboys. And that, my friends, is the ball game. 38 points to 20 is the score. The Wars will win. And they will maintain their healthy spot as second on the table. However, you want to know who you play next week? The Dolphins is your next game. So it will be second versus third. Next week, it's going to be a massive game here. So I'll definitely see you here on the channel for that one, as we are live for every single game. But guys, I'm going to jump off. I'm going to switch over the stream to the Melbourne Storm versus the Canberra Raiders game. So hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're new around here. And I will see you in 5 minutes time for the next game. Thanks for watching. Catch you later. Up the was. See ya. And also, don't forget, we'll be live for the New Zealand All Whites game tomorrow too. And the FIFA World Cup will be here. We'll be here, son.